Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Became Heir of the Great Tomb of Nazarick Part 3. Before we start, please go support thecrowficsYT for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. Supreme Dragon Emperor Chapter 8, Interrupted Engagement. As I walk through the halls of Nazarick, I can only get lost in my thoughts since they told me she's awake. I've thought about what my attitude towards her would be. What is it that I really want to feel towards her? Honestly, I don't hate her, but I don't love her either, and after what she did, I can't be impartial. I need to think about the right way to handle this situation. Now everything will depend on me. After all, I am Heir. I can handle this problem. As I look at the door in front of me, I just take a breath. I focus my mind and open the door to find Rias lying in a bed with white blankets as she looks out the window of the small room. As the wind moves her hair, nostalgia wants to hit my heart, but my brain makes sure that doesn't happen. Indifferent, I enter the room and ask seriously, and without doubts as I look into her eyes. Issei, what are you doing here, Rias? As I say those words very seriously, without realizing it, my eyes begin to show hatred. I remember it when I see that crimson hair, the pain of my friends and my own pain, although I shouldn't feel it anymore. Why does seeing her make me angry? She looked at me with dull eyes, but out of nowhere they shone, and stuttering she said, "Are you Issei? Issei?" As she said that, I felt her eyes light up like headlights while she made a warm smile, although when I saw her I felt like leaving there. Issei, of course it's me. Now you're pretending to be crazy? I don't know what brought you here, but start talking or I'll make you come back myself, I said while pointing at her with eyes full of hate. When she saw me, tears came out of her eyes. While I thought I was being too cruel, but it's what she deserves for having done something horrible. Rias, I don't know where I am. The last thing I remember is that you saved me from Razor. We were supposed to always be together, right? She started crying and kept talking. So why do you hate me? I haven't done anything wrong. While she was saying that, I didn't care and I touched her forehead and used my ability to see memories, but to my surprise there was nothing. As she said, there is nothing of those memories. Everything was cut off until where I saved her from Razor. There is nothing else in her head. So what happened really? After what happened, it's a good idea to have her close. Well, when the time is, I'll bring her back with the dimensional rift. Now I can't do much, and having her imprisoned is not a good idea either. So I guess I'll let her stay here. But even so, there is something that worries me. I don't know what it is, but I won't take it important before. I need her to calm down and understand everything. Issei, I am Issei, King of Nazarick. I currently rule this place. I want you to understand that we are not in Kyo. Besides, you and I were enemies. I do not know what happened and I do not care. Now that you lost your memory, that will never be resolved, so now just dedicate yourself to living here until I find a way to make you come back, and preferably think about what you will do when you see our friends. Then I will send someone to explain the details to you. For now, rest, and now more importantly, our relationship ended a long time ago, and now I am planning to get married, so now that you are here I will tell you, thank you for taking care of me, that's all, goodbye. Strange feelings. Something I cannot understand, but I do feel. As I approach the door, a part of me is there. The me from when I was still studying in Kyo. He just looks at me and smiles at me, just so that when I touch the dog from the room just fades away in my thoughts. There was never anything there, and for my sake I'm glad that it was like that. As I leave the room, I only hear tears falling on the blanket where she is. As I walk, a smile comes out of my face, something I always wanted to tell her and thought I would never have the chance. I can finally be at peace, but well, when I open the door I can only see how my fiancée falls at my feet. I was listening through the door. Is she really the leader of the Guardians, and is she acting like a spy girl? She was so interested that she came to gossip to see what was happening. I just walked on past her and headed to my throne to calmly think about what I would do next. I thought about her situation and realized that in the end she had given me nothing but loneliness and problems, but she had also given me more things than she could take away from me. So my decision was correct, because my heart will always be that of a human who wants to take care of others. 3 months passed in the blink of an eye, and the wedding between the king and the leader of the Guardians is more than a fact. When we told everyone, they practically praised it for a whole week. They were happy. All of them students because I was super nervous. I did not know what to do and I was trying to be in everything besides that I was dressed in an unusual way. I was already enlisted with a jacket and a red shirt accompanied by black pants and black shoes. I tried to look as presentable as possible, but for some reason no matter how hard I tried to comb my hair it stayed the same way. It was annoying, but there was nothing that could be done. But the atmosphere was very good. It seemed that everyone wanted this moment to pass. We are all gathered for this moment. Even Ainz returned from his trip to be with us. He returned without good news because he has not heard anything from the Supremes, but he does not lose hope. In addition to being in charge of marrying Albedo and me, I could actually feel his murderous aura, but when he saw me those feelings disappeared. I was for calling her father-in-law, but I'm sure no power in Nzarick would save me from dying if I told Ainz that my friends came to the wedding only to be greeted with much love in Nzarick. Although at first I didn't want to see Rias, they put themselves on guard without hesitation, and everyone was very defensive. Actually seeing her made them nervous and also could feel anger and revenge towards her. She just shed tears from her eyes and was about to leave, but I got in the way. I wasn't defending her or anything, just that because of the tension she could get attacked and killed and I don't want deaths at my wedding. After calming down and explaining the situation in the end, they ended up understanding her and opening up their damaged friendship again. Rias was there the whole time as Nazarick's made. The truth is she became someone easy to recognize there. Some guardians were interested in her unique type of magic, but they wanted to experiment on her, and I didn't allow it. Not because I cared, but because I wanted to bring her back safe and sound. Her brother. When I thought about what could happen to her brother, and what he did for me when I was in the demonic realm crossed my mind. That's why it was difficult for me to abandon her. The bride hasn't even come out yet, to be honest. I keep looking back, hoping she'll come. I'm anxious, and while everyone starts to take their seats, and I take my place at the podium next to Ainz, my nervousness can be felt throughout the room. Ainz, you need to calm down. I don't want you to die of nerves at the altar or run away from here in fear. Issei, stop joking about that. I'm dying of nerves. Ainz, the truth is I didn't imagine they would get married so soon. I thought you would never have the courage to ask her, but I see I was wrong. Issei, I honestly thought he would come and kill me after he found out I was going to marry Albedo. But I was actually surprised that he took it so calmly. Ainz, honestly, I came with the intention of killing you. But seeing Albedo so happy I couldn't do it anymore, so consider yourself lucky. Issei, Ainz, stop that kind of jokes, I said while laughing, and turned to see him only to see how one of his eyes burned in a red flame, and he looked at me seriously while he said, "Do you think I'm joking?" After seeing that I decided to stop asking about it. The fear I have of Ainz and the respect I have for his strength are very great. Ainz, when this is over I hope you're ready for what's coming. Issei, if in the end everything will follow the course I want to choose. Ainz, I would like to say many things and thank you, but I don't want to get sentimental now, so it will be another time. He remained silent, and out of nowhere he began to speak. Ainz, although I'm glad it's you who better than my protege, the child I saw advance, fall and get up with the hope of never losing something he loves again. I know you better than anyone, and I know that she will be in good hands. You exceeded all my expectations. You are one of my children, and no matter what I will always protect you. You have grown a lot. Issei, I couldn't be more proud of you. Hearing that, my chest and my whole body can't help but feel warm as those words resonate in my heart. The seeds that I planted all my life and the seeds that he gave me are finally bearing fruit in my heart. When I had nothing, he gave me everything. When I didn't know what to do, he took care of me. When I didn't know where to go, he showed me the right path. When I was lost, he was my light in the darkness, and when I thought I couldn't walk anymore, he was there so I could take another step and keep moving forward. I give him so much. I owe everything to Ainz. The strength that he gave me still resides in my heart. If he hadn't been there, I wouldn't be what I am. But saying something like that out of nowhere, I already told him that I didn't want to get sentimental, damn, but oh well. Issei, thank you, that means a lot to me. I said that as I turned to look at him, and a smile came out of my face, the happiest and most joyful smile that represented how I felt. In reality, I was super happy. In reality, my nerves disappeared. I was ready and sure that now I could move forward, and it's all because he was by my side. Then in the room I see a bride dressed as Albedo in a beautiful white dress, and the white bouquet is heading towards me. Her hair is the same style as always, but she looks 10 times more beautiful than ever. In fact, I'm about to start drooling over her without caring that she's at the altar now. As she arrives, everyone is shocked. Every step she takes makes my heart beat faster. While a veil covers her face, she advances without hesitation towards where I am. When she is in front of me, the only thing I can do is remove the veil to lose myself in those beautiful golden eyes. I can't believe that I have never before fallen hypnotized by how beautiful they look. The ceremony progresses without major problems. Everything was perfect until we reached the last sentence. Ainz, if there is anyone who opposes this wedding, speak now or forever hold your peace. 5 seconds passed and nothing happened, so Ainz was going to continue with his dialogue when out of nowhere the flame of the place where we were exploded, generating a smoke screen. Wait, but what the hell just happened? I did not understand what was happening, but then a thought came to me that never crossed my mind. Are they attacking Nazarick? Now? At this moment? After having demonstrated my power, who would be idiot enough to attack Nazarick? But then I feel 2 presences flying, but there is something strange. Their auras remind me a lot of Pandora. Why would they remind me of him at this moment? I get tired of the cloud of dust and wave my arm, and it dissipates instantly, only to see 2 people flying above us. But when I saw them, I could only swallow, trying to understand what I saw were 2 women. One had black hair, and the other had black hair with red details. Both were looking down, but for some reason they gave me the feeling of being the same as Albedo. I turned to look at Albedo, and I could only see how she shed tears, and while she let out a scream of happiness, I knew who they were. Albedo, Nigredo and Rubido, sisters, how nice to see you. I can't believe I can see you again. While saying that, she smiled gently, but when she heard those words, her eyes dulled and she just ignored her. Why would they do that? And what surprises me the most is that I didn't know that Albedo had sisters. I wonder why Ainz never told me about it. Now I see why they look too similar, but now they're acting that way. I wonder why. Rubido, you're a disgrace. Don't call me sister again, you damn scum. We'll finish you off here. That's why we came. Nigredo, we came to clean up the mess you made. Now we'll get rid of 2 mistakes. Albedo, mistakes? What are you talking about? There was no mistake in my actions, and I'm not a disgrace. I'm the leader of the Guardians. Tabula ordered me to do so, and since then, I've guarded that port with my life. Rubido, then let me tell you your first mistake, having entered into a relationship with that human scum, he said, pointing at me while looking at me with disdain. Nigredo, it's obvious that this influenced your behavior, and you've been doing pure stupidity, tarnishing the name of our creator, Tabula. Rubido and Nigredo, so we'll get rid of that human scum so you can return to normal. They said this as auras covered their bodies and their thirst for blood increased. Issei, why don't they come and try? I don't care who they are, I said as I took a step forward. I won't lose no matter who it is, and I will fight for the tears that the most important person in my life has made me shed. Albedo, being scorned by her sister who she thought she would never see again, had become sad, and small tears came out of her eyes as she just looked up. Rubido, damned human, I'll make you disappear. No matter what you do or say, I'll never accept what she's carrying in her womb. He said this with bloodshot eyes. Issei, her belly? What the hell do you mean? Nigredo, you are so idiot that you have not realized. That is the second mistake you made, letting yourself be pregnant by someone worthless. Besides that, we will not let that child be born. After saying that, everything went silent, and I just looked at Albedo, who had just finished crying and had the same surprised face as me, and just like everyone else we shouted, "Hi!" The whole place echoed, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was going to be a father. It couldn't be. I never imagined something like that. That still seemed very far away to me, but finally I was going to be a father. Then I was only taken out of my thoughts when someone started to choke me. Ainz, you damn, what do you think you did to my daughter? Consider yourself dead. This is why you wanted to get married, right? I'll kill you, damn virgin. Say your last words, rapist. Out of nowhere, everyone formed a circle around me to interrogate me. Kiba, Issei got pregnant before marriage. I don't know why I'm not surprised. Damn, I don't know if he's scolding me or praising me. Asia, I will give you the blessing even if before God it is a sin, she said with a smile. Zenobia, congratulations Issei. Kaneko, I'm curious what Issei's son will be like. Akeno, he'll have lots of one chance to play with. What a lucky kid. So many comments at once. There was an air of happiness even though I was being hanged here. Strangely, I felt super happy. The more I thought about it, the more my thoughts wandered about the moment and the situation in which Albedo got pregnant, since let's say that more than calling it a sexual relationship, it was more like a grape, and the worst thing is that I was the victim while I thought about it, and more comments were heard, more and more voices congratulated me. Nigredo and Rabido came down from the sky where they were. Nigredo: "Oh, Sama, it's a pleasure to see you, but we'll take care of killing the boy and taking our sister with us so she doesn't interfere." Ainz: "I'm sorry, but Tabula asked me to take care of Albedo before leaving, and he's under my protection. I won't let them touch my family." Rabido: "Then if necessary, we'll get through by force. That scum is lucky to be behind a supreme leader." Issei: "I'm not behind Ainz's back. I've earned my place. I no longer see his back, and that's why now I walk by his side, so now I can fight against both of them at the same time and obtain victory. I will not let them touch my wife and my future son. I will win." My screams full of passion, courage and determination echoed in the destroyed church. I scream as I prepare to throw myself at them, but then Ainz touched my shoulder and said, "If you want to fight them head on, you won't win. You may not know it, but they are closer to being a supreme being than you can imagine. You can't think that you will win a battle going head on against both of them head on, but if you separate them, then things change, right?" he said as one of his eyes lit up in a red flame. Ainz: "If they want a fight, we will give it to them, but so that there is no doubt the two will face each other against me and Issei. Whoever can't fight anymore will be the loser, and the winner will decide what they want. I don't mind risking my life in this. They arrived on the most important day of the people I love. I will not tolerate this lack of respect any longer." Ainz Ooal Gown challenged them both. Nigredo: "Oh, if that seems fine to you," he said while bowing and making a reverence, "we gladly accept the challenge, but," he said while raising his head, "being with such a weak scum will only make him lose faster. Honestly, I would ask that you reconsider your decision. Having such a weak human will only lead him to defeat." Rabido: "Leave it like that," he said as she also bowed. "If he wants to fight like that, it's his decision. But I don't care if he's a supreme being," he said as he stood up with murderous intent towards Ainz. "If he gets in my way to kill that insect, then," as he hit his fist in the palm of his hand, "I will defeat him before he can imagine it. A supreme being is not invincible." He said this as a black aura began to surround her. Ainz: "That's what you think," he said while closing his eyes. "But I don't think you have to underestimate him. If it's true that he's a human, but he's the only human who has exceeded my expectations more than once." He said it while opening his eyes. "He will show you why I chose him as my successor. Someone who was chosen by me is anything but devil." While I listened to those words spoken by Ainz, the determination and the love in my heart could not feel more than ready for the brutal battle that I knew awaited us. It was all or nothing before. I had risked my life, but now I was risking the life of my wife and my son. There was no other option. I could not lose. Issei: "I will protect my family no matter what. I don't care how strong they are. Now that I'm with Ainz, I can't imagine losing to anyone." A red aura began to cover me when that happened. Nigredo seemed to show interest, although Rabido seemed as if he didn't care, "And that's because the symbol of Ainz Ooal Gown burns in my heart," he said while hitting my chest. "So I will not know defeat." Ainz: "Then let's go to the Colosseum." Great teleportation. With teleportation magic, Ainz took us to the Colosseum. Everyone was in the stands while only Ainz, Nigreso and Rabido were in the Colosseum. The tension could be cut in the air. The more I looked at them, the more I felt that it would not be a difficult battle. I still did not know what type of fighters they both were. I did not know if they had unknown magic. I did not know how well they worked and the limit of their strength. That is, we were at a disadvantage according to the information, but they have an advantage since they know Ainz. They may not know the limit of their powers, but they still have vital information. Also, the fact of their coordination can be a vital point in this fight because Ainz and I are not too used to fighting together. We fought together before, but it was not with our maximum power. So in short, we are at a disadvantage against an unknown enemy, so it would be best to get rid of someone first, then we can take care of the other one. But carelessly attacking one could be the end. But is it still the right answer? There is no other solution? Then Ainz said, "Everything you thought is correct. Finishing one off as quickly as possible is the best option, but don't worry, attack without fear and go straight ahead. I'm behind you no matter what happens. I won't let you die here. When he said that, I could only feel sweat running down my face. I was thinking as quickly as possible, trying to find a solution, and he found the answer as if it were nothing, and besides having chosen the correct answer, eliminating my insecurities and giving me confidence in the process. Seriously, the more I know Ainz, I wonder how many generations do I have to live to be considered a supreme being, because for me, even now, even after having received my maximum power and having unleashed my potential, I do not feel close to being a supreme being. Then I think we should start. Guardians, make the maximum barrier for this place to be activated. The Guardians were divided throughout the Colosseum. While they joined their forces, they all gave a shout and said, "God, Astral Guardian!" Out of nowhere, they all concentrated their power in a barrier that covered us and delimited the area. It seems that none of the four of us who are here will be able to leave until the battle is over by any means. This was the maximum defensive technique inherited from the supreme beings to the Guardians, because even Nigredo and Rubido were surprised to see her, and a feeling of nostalgia was seen on their faces. While we are waiting, slowly Aura takes the microphone and begins to introduce us as if it were a battle in a ring. Aura, out of nowhere we have a battle. Who would say that such an awaited date would end in a great conflict for Nazarick? But anyway, Aura will be in charge of introducing you to the combatants. These legendary warriors will fight today and earn a place in history. This confrontation will leave a mark on this world. On Nazarick's side, we have the Supreme Being, the most legendary, the most imposing, the invincible, and the only remaining Supreme Being, Ainz Ooal Gown, who has never suffered a defeat in his entire existence, and is rumored to be the strongest of the 41 Supreme Beings. His experience and wisdom could be key to a quick victory, and covering his back is the uniqueness of Nzarick, a warrior from distant lands whom destiny brought to Nzarick, and after a long time that surpassed Nazarick's potential and has remained undefeated until now. The person chosen by Ainz Ooal Gown and the Dragon Slayer Hyodo Issei. He is our Lord of Nzarick, and this is his first official battle, and that is why we all remain expectant. Now we move on to the other side, which wants to end a commitment that was blessed by Ainz Ooal Gown. I mean Albedo's sisters, created by the Supreme Being Tabula, Nigredo, and Rubido, because they are almost never shown. We do not have data on their strength or abilities, but it is said that their combined power is on par with the Supreme Being. Even their existence was believed to be a myth. But they are here ready to fight. Will they be able to fight the Supreme Being, or will they lose right away in this battle? We will see what happens. I was with Ainz waiting for the moment when they said we were going to fight. Meanwhile, something did not calm my heart. I felt excited. Everyone was expectant. I felt like my friends were at the edges of the arena while they looked at me. Valley even seemed altered by the encounter, and Albedo was on the main podium while her eyes showed total seriousness. Apparently she was very worried, but she kept calm, and her seriousness was evident, her nervousness. But then the sound I was waiting for reached my ears. At that moment I closed my eyes and calmed my heart while smiling. When I closed them, I saw all my friends, and even the Pleiades and the Guardians were by my side. Then I heard Aura begin. When I opened my eyes, I only felt something at super high speed heading towards me. It was Rubido. He was approaching to end this quickly, but I felt his thirst for blood since before he moved, so I was ready. I put my armor in Hydrat balance breaker mode at once and moved quickly to confront her. When she saw my movements, she couldn't help but be surprised. Then I activated my level 10 magic Flazing Gird. While we were about to impact, I moved faster, and she thought she hit a mirage. Then she noticed it around her. There was a red thread, and one went through her chest. Then red feathers began to stick to her. Then I just clenched my fist, and a spiral of fire was created violently on her. She screamed in pain, but was quickly looking for a way to undo that magic. But then, just a second of carelessness. I need Ainz Ooal Gown to demonstrate why he is the Supreme Being. He approached and said, "Dimension 0." A door opened beneath Rubido, and she just fell into it without resisting. It seemed the plan was going well. Aura, I can't believe it. In less than 10 seconds, Issei and Ainz finished off Rubido. It seems they were weaker than we thought. Or is it that the power of a Supreme Being is so great that it can't be stopped? It's simply incredible. The battle may end sooner than expected. Seriously, this battle was being very easy. I was wondering why when I saw Nigredo smiling very calmly. Nigredo, It seems that we underestimate you. You are strong, she said it while around her there was such a calm atmosphere. For a moment I thought she would give up peacefully, but my surprise was another when she said, but even so, you too will not be enough to defeat me. While I mentioned those words I could not help but be surprised. She says that a supreme being is not enough to stop her. She out of nowhere took an apple and bit it. When she bit it her hair turned white, and her eyes red. Then an undead in the shape of a skeleton seemed to be on her back. It looked like a grim reaper. Then I heard her say code 00. I felt like everything changed suddenly, but I did not know what had changed in her. Ainz, what a troublesome ability. I'm surprised he got that ability. He said that while being super serious. Issei, Ainz, what is that ability? I've never heard of it. Nzarick, since it is my ability, let me explain it to you. 00 is an ability in binary code. This allows me that none of his elemental magic techniques harm me. It is a horrible ability. Even if it is level 10 magic, this will not affect me if it is elemental type, in addition to enhancing my magic. Issei, then before you can attack us, divide your power in half. Activate dividing zone. My ability was about to activate when Nzarick 01 ability, then I could only see how my dividend zone was destroyed without much effort. Then before I could ask what had just happened, Nzarick continued with the explanation how bad that I activated my ability before. I'll tell you, my 01 ability has the function of blocking and preventing my opponents from using their abilities. That's why from this moment on their abilities are blocked by me. Issei, are you serious? Damn it, he just blocked us very easily, although I feel like he's just bragging. There's no way that with Ainz on my side we'll lose. There's no way. While I'm thinking about that, Ainz speaks to me. Ainz, relax. Issei, while it is true that those techniques are terribly strong together, it is obvious that they are not definitive. Even if they have a time limit, they do not affect the unique magic, meaning that we can attack it, and I already have a plan to end this battle as soon as possible. The Victoria Cut will end this fight. When he said it, I couldn't help but be surprised. Ainz Ooal Gown's ultimate technique would be launched again. According to the report, the Victoria Cut was the one that ended Jun Men No Drive when Dark took possession of my body. In fact, I haven't heard from him or Drige for a while, but anyway, the point is that it is a technique that surpasses level 10 magic. Then Ainz continued, to create the sword Ainz Ooal Gown and do the Victoria Cut, I need to unleash the power of the snake staff, so I need time. Until then, I'll be an easy target, so I need. Then I interrupted him. Issei, she needs someone to hold her back until then, but it will be a waste since I will defeat her before I attack her, I said while smiling, and I launched myself to attack her. In reality I was acting boastful. I knew she was strong, but I still did not want Ainz to worry, so I approached. She apparently had no intention of covering herself. She was very confident. Then I activated my level 10 magic breaker Claw of King Dragon. A blow hit her chest, and she flew towards the corner of the Colosseum. Apparently that hurt her too much. She was bleeding from her mouth. Then smiling she said, Nzarick, who would say that you would handle unique magic so easily? Honestly, I don't dislike humans too much, but what you did is unforgivable, wanting to take away and harm my family. Even going so far as to put a supreme being against me. I have never felt so insulted and ashamed in my entire life. You want to take away everything I love. I have already lost my supreme being Tabula. I will not lose anyone else. Then a black aura began to come out of her body, and the Grim Reaper behind her disappeared. But when she disappeared, all her wounds disappeared. Is it serious? So she let herself be attacked on purpose because she knew that my attack would not harm her at all. Besides that, I can only use level magic 10 twice in a row now. I'll have to wait to recharge my magic. That means I'm at a disadvantage, but I still won't give up. She continued speaking, that armor is very peculiar. I really want to destroy it and investigate it. You are a singularity. I would like you to live, but I will kill you here. As she said that, a thirst for blood that left me frozen came out of her. Now feel the true power. Level 10 magic elemental fury. Elemental magic circles gathered together. Each one of these resonated with each other, and she did not point at me. She pointed at Ainz. She realized. She snapped her fingers and an enormous power came out of the elemental circles, creating a powerful flash which was directed towards Ainz. Without hesitation I stood in front of him. I activated Diving and Crimson Dome. The attack was devastating. Even in Hidden Balance Breaker I had trouble stopping him, but I managed to block him. Nzarick, you were able to stop it, but that's nothing really. It's just a pinch of my power. I may not have told you, but when Code 00 and Code 01 are together, my powers are released to the limit. So what do you think of this? Out of nowhere, the magic circles began to crack and broke one by one. You think you are the Dragon King, right? Then I will call this attack Elemental Dragon Fury. The last circle broke and dragons of all elements shot out at maximum speed towards me. Exactly 10 dragons flew in my direction. I activated Crimson Dome and evolved Wings of the Dragon King. Using wings as shields, I tried to stop the attacks but was unsuccessful. A huge explosion resounded. I think I lost consciousness now. For some reason I am falling. I feel my body heavy. I can't move. While I begin to regain my vision, I see how fragments of my armor are scattered everywhere. I no longer have a helmet, and the wings of the armor, including part of my arms and the breastplate, are scattered in the sky while I am falling. But this is my maximum potential. I am supposed to be the Lord of Nazarick. I'm not going to lose here, but I feel like my senses are abandoning me. Why am I losing? Why can't I be stronger? My son's life is at stake. I can't lose. Dark. Damn, stop complaining. I'll only leave you for a while, and that loser mentality will come back up. You failure. Upon hearing those words, I smile and feel my body move again. Before falling to the heavens, I spin and land on the floor. Seriously, that was a devastating attack. Now I understand why you feel that way. I didn't think that someone who had almost the same powers as Ainz would be our opponent, but remember, if we're together there's nothing to fear. Issei, you're right. Sorry to see an attack of that level surprised me, but now I have people depending on me too. I want to show my best side to our wife, so we're going to win this. I screamed and all my armor returned, but in doing that I lost my hybrid mode. Nzarick, you withstood my attack, and on top of that you can rebuild that armor even though you lost power. This is fascinating, but as you are now you can't beat me. Issei, I don't care if you think I can't win, even so I won't give up. I won't let you take away everything I've worked hard to achieve. All my family and friends are waiting for my victory, so I'm not going to lose here. After saying that, I activated my hybrid balance breaker mode again. I hope you're ready for an infinite battle because I'm not willing to accept defeat. I felt my power turn on again, and I launched myself while charging my new level 10 magic burning of King Dragon. I feel like my armor is resonating. I finally feel complete, and I feel like my power overflows. Nzarick, so you think you'll have a chance head on? How idiots humans are. Whether you come head on or not, I am superior. Elemental Breaker. She charged with her power in front of me, and an impact began to destroy everything around us. The magnitude of the powers was incredible. But strangely we were on par. Then she began to speak. How is it possible? You are getting stronger, even in this battle. You are getting stronger and stronger. But no matter that you are complete now, you will not be able to beat me, bastard. Issei, you may have forgotten, but this battle isn't 1-on-1, it's 2-on-1, and you just lost Ainz. That's enough time, right? When asking that, Nzarick turned to look at him only to be speechless at what was happening. Ainz, free yourself, bleeding treasure. Ainz old gold sword emerges, a sword that shone like gold but having the gems around it. Then emerged in the clash of powers. I gave all my power to force a tie, and both powers would cancel each other out. Then I got away as quickly as possible. While Ainz said this is over, Ainz old gold claimed victory. Victory cut. Only a flash shone, and part of the dome that protected us began to crack. When the brightness ended, I could only see how Nzarick fell, while a huge pool of blood formed around him. Aura. They won. Nazarick's team triumphed without any major problems. This is historic. It's a crushing victory. As everyone began to celebrate our victory, Nzarick began to laugh as he bled out. Nzarick, you guys think you won? At least I was able to activate my last ability, Bonds of Brotherhood, when I'm hurt to the point of not being able to fight anymore. All my magic and my stats go to my sister Rubito. I think it's time you said hello, One-chan. After saying that, a huge red ray broke the floor as if it were glass, and from it emerged someone with colossal magical power. It was Rubito. Rubito, apparently it's my turn to join the fun. I must give them credit. Beating Nzarick is not easy at all, but leaving her do that makes me bucking angry, so don't expect to get out of here alive. Really, if she gave it all her strength, it's as if we were still fighting against the two again. Besides the fact that we take damage in battle, although especially me, in addition to the fact that Ainz spent a lot of power in creating the sword Ainz Ooal Gown, but even so we can win. I know we can. I still can't imagine losing here. Okay, I activated my 2 over-limit abilities, and Resentment Days. Out of nowhere I felt like his magic became stronger and stronger. It seemed like it was multiplying, and I felt something strange around the entire Colosseum. Ainz, Apparently we are in a very bad situation, those daughters of Tabula. Who made them so damn strong? I don't believe they had inherited abilities from a supreme being. Issei, so what you're saying is that she is now at the same level as a supreme being? I couldn't believe it. I felt my skin get goosebumps. She was giving me the same impression as when I saw Ainz for the first time. That's why I was starting to feel terror. I didn't want to accept that something like that existed. Then while I was starting to panic, I felt someone take my hand. Then when I turned around, Albedo was by my side smiling at me. I didn't understand what was happening, but when I saw Drive and Dark by my side, I knew it. It was in my subconscious. Then I looked ahead, and there was the Supreme Being with his back turned while holding the Ainz Ooal Gold flag, and it was shaken by the wind. When I saw her, new illusions grew in my heart. Dark, come on, what are you waiting for? Go and take the flag with Ainz. Today is the day you will stop seeing his back. Now you can walk by his side. Drive, let's go ahead, boy. Albedo, go show me your best side. No. Then I came back to my senses and looked at Ainz. Issei, how long does it take to make the Victoria cut again? Ainz, about a minute, but Issei, it won't be the same as with Nigredo. She won't hesitate to kill you like Nigredo, because I don't think you haven't noticed, or if I had noticed, Nigredo contained part of his strength when he fought me. Although he wanted to kill me, a part of it made her hold back. But Rabido wouldn't hesitate to kill me. I knew it, but with Nigredo being out of combat, the codes 00 and 01 have disappeared. That means that I can attack her with everything. Besides that, I still have ultimate bus with me. The Colosseum is starting to fall into pieces, and the dome around us has many cracks. While I looked around thinking of a plan. Rabido, well, since I activated my abilities, I will explain what Overlimit consists of. It is responsible for releasing all my power, and that of Nigredo. This allows me to use every reserve of magic I have. And Rensa Days is an ability that will cause you double the pain for each attack you receive. Isn't that great? I will make you suffer for having hurt my sister in that way. Trying to distract her, I ran towards her at top speed, but she was moving much faster than me. Out of nowhere, she approached and hit me while saying negative flow, furious discharge. When saying that, I only felt an enormous discharge which sent me flying towards the abyss of the dome. When I hit the dome, it cracked more, and the damn pain was making me lose consciousness. I couldn't believe it. I felt like I was going to die, and my life was almost passing before my eyes. Then I heard Rabido say, bang, then the discharge exploded on me. All my armor except half of my helmet was destroyed in the explosion. I seriously believed that Ainz would be the only one who could damage my hybrid balance breaker armor to this point, but as I fall, I can only hear Rabido. Rabido, did you really endure that? You're tough, but this is over. Negative fire. Before saying that, Ainz attacked her with hellfire. Then Rabido said, Ainz, if you want to intervene, better not do it. It's useless, better save your magic. This trash doesn't deserve to be protected, but if you insist, I'll finish you off first. Level 10 Magic Darkness Impulse X. While that attack was heading towards Ainz. Ainz. Level 10 Elemental Fragment Magic. All the elemental magic circles were created, and from them came out an enormous power, joining together in perfect harmony and crossing Rabido's attack as if it were nothing. Hitting him squarely, Ainz grabbed me as I fell, and when I got down to the floor, I separated from him. He wanted to talk to me, but with just one look we understood what we wanted to say. And then, Issei, the time has come. Now activate the ultimate boss. Rabido, I let you attack me so I could activate this ability. Now you will suffer. You will not be able to pass me. While Rabido said this, he was on top of the dome, and I saw blood coming out of her lips, and she said, Rabido, so it has to be a battle. Try at least to bathe me, and after having received all your attacks, then I will defeat you. She launched herself towards us, then I received her with Claw of King Dragon. She just collided with her and flew to the side, although not with much force, while that power made my arm numb. It seems that you have become stronger. I will stop playing and go seriously. Impulse X. I attacked her again with Claw of King Dragon, only to be sent far away while I felt my arm break. I without an arm, and my arm was all purple and I could not move it. Apparently she is serious now. I replaced my arm and put on the armor, and I saw how she quickly approached where Ainz was. Then I stood in front of her, and she said, get out of my way. Double impulse lightning charge. Alba's hands were filled with electricity, and threw them towards me with 2 blows. Then I used my Dragon King wings, but they were not enough, so I turned and avoided the attack, although my wings were shattered. Then she said constellation, and out of nowhere I just felt like I was in space surrounded by stars. All the stars moved and pierced me while I felt an immense pain. I only felt like all my armor was shattered, my head was bleeding and my eyes were soaked in blood, but I was still standing ready to fight. You are seriously persistent. Look at you until you end up like this, she said while taking my head. Now I will explode your skull. I have never seen someone without a head get up so they died before she exploded my head. I put my arms at the level of her chest and said Giga Blaster. Then 2 dragon jaws appeared in my hands, and when they opened an immense power came out, cannon shape, pushing Rabito approximately 3 meters away from me. I can't believe it worked, but now she's far away and almost a minute has passed. It doesn't matter, we will win. Issei, attack Ainz, don't worry about me, just finish this. Ainz, that won't happen. Great teleportation. He appeared in front of me and said victory cut. A huge flash almost blinded us, but after attacking nobody imagined what would happen. Rabito, final negative charge. She attacked the Victoria cut head on. I didn't think anyone could do that. She fought with that enormous power until the Victoria cut was barely stopped by her. It's obvious that she suffered great damage, but I didn't think anyone existed capable of blocking an attack like that. Issei, Ainz, how long do you need to launch another attack like that? Ainz, that's impossible. I can't launch another attack like that anymore, and it's because of the concept of the victory cut. Issei, the concept? Ainz. So you understand, the victory cut is an attack which can only be used with the Ainz Ooal Gold sword, and to create it a huge amount of magic is needed, but it works like a meter. Let's imagine that we have 100, that is what the victory cut consists of. I can use those 100 as I please, but I can only use 100 in the attack against Nigredo. I used 50, and now I just used the other 50. In short, it is impossible to use the Ainz Ooal Gold sword more. In addition to that, when it is accessed by releasing the sacred treasure, the snake staff is rendered useless at the same time. In short, we are without our best card to stop Rabito. Rabito, I already received your best attack, now you receive mine. Negative future. So much magic was concentrating that the dome could be heard cracking just from the formation of power. Ainz stood in front of me and was ready to attack. The tension was felt in the air and Ainz was ready to attack her. He prepared his level 10 magic supreme judgment, and without thinking he attacked her. She responded to that attack, creating an enormous mass of power that destroyed the entire dome with just its impact. The energy was too much, but Ainz was losing. Then the balance of power was broken and the attack hit Ainz. We were all stunned and in shock. We couldn't believe it. The supreme being Ainz Ooal Gold was out of combat in a corner of the Colosseum. All the guardians were speechless and everyone couldn't even breathe. Rabito, I did it. I defeated the supreme being. Victory is mine. And she started laughing out loud while raising her fists in a sign of victory. Issei, don't sing victory, now it's my turn. She turned to look at me without interest, but then realized the power of Ainz was in my hands. He didn't attack her with everything a little while ago and gave me all his remaining power to me now. Surge, I said while absorbing all of Ainz's magic and uniting it with mine. Hybrid balance breaker rebore. I launched myself without hesitation and activated my level 10 magic. Superior Wonder of the Dragon King. I launched myself towards her, and she attacked me. While I prepared my other consecutive magic glorious explosion, a blow, but she activated her magic break hammer. The attack exploded, creating a huge mass of energy, and everything was like a dome of power. She kept hitting me and I hit her back even though my armor was breaking in the process. Rabito, face the facts, you're going to lose and you're going to die here. You're a bucking loser. I'll kill you here. I'll take my sister with you and that bastard son will die in my hands. I'll make everything you love burn with fire and I'll laugh at your damn misfortune. She started laughing like crazy. Issei, do you really believe that? You may not see it, but I did not activate 2 magics, I activated 3. She looked at me without understanding, then she realized that the massive power in which we were many blue magic circles began to be created. It began to fill everything around while I shouted the name of the technique over down. It is the maximum technique of Ainz which I use in our first battle. He gave me the magic to release this technique. By myself it would be impossible to do that magic, but I unleashed it. Rabito, noticing it, seemed to understand that this magic took a long time to activate. Now the only thing I have to do is stop you here. That's what I said when I began to exchange blows faster and faster, and my blood and pieces of the armor. The more I fought, an emotion that was not controlled in my heart, and I began to smile. Rabito, don't believe it, damn human. I'll finish you off here. She said this while hitting me in the face many times and my blood started to come out, but she was disconcerted by my smile. Why, every time I hit you, you get stronger. Why do you get stronger? Why don't you just die and that's it? Give up, damn it. While the blows and pieces of my armor broke, only our blows resonated in the place. At times I felt that my consciousness was lost, then the blows on my part sometimes stopped, and my blood spilled. When she saw me about to collapse, she tried to flee, but I got in her way and didn't let her out. She tried to take me away until all the circles resonated and the technique began. I felt like everything lit up in white, and she and I looked at each other, while everything around me disappeared. Rabito, you are strong, the strongest human I have ever known. You have my respect. It had been generations since someone took me to this extreme. I will never forget this day, so tell me your name. Issei. I am Issei Issei, the Lord of Nazarick, the Dragon King. As I said it, a huge smile. You have nothing to worry about anymore. I will protect Albedo from whatever comes. Then I felt like our existence disappeared, all in a huge flash. Ainz perspective. A huge light flashed all around. Apparently Issei's suicide plan worked. Or at least I hope so. I don't think I'm in a position to stop Rabito now. While the flash disappears, I only see how both Rabito and Issei fall while their body is gray. It seems that they turned into ash. The plan worked, but at what cost? He was willing to give his life for Albedo. In reality, he has changed a lot. I raised this boy well. I couldn't be more proud of having passed the baton to him. As I got up, I could clearly hear Aura. I can't believe it. After this battle of legendary proportions, a single winner stands. The winner of this battle is Ainz Ooal Gown and Issei. This battle will go down in history. I still can't believe everything that happened, but it's their victory. Hooray for Ainz Ooal Gown and the Lord of Nazarick Issei. But the results were more destructive than expected. We hope they can recover from those attacks. I quickly headed towards Issei, but when I arrived, Albedo was already trying to recover him. But he didn't react to the cure. That meant he was dead. But he is not a Nazarick being, so I can't hope to revive him with common Nazarick items. Damn, it was my fault. So I will occupy this object, Flames of Life. This object allows its bearer to revive. Honestly, I am occupying this object desperately. In reality, I panicked just thinking that someone so important to me could disappear created a great terror inside me. But suddenly the object worked, and Issei little by little began to wake up. Although his strength was beginning to return, all the magic power that he occupied will take time to recover. He just got up abruptly, and when he wanted to ask something he fainted due to the exhaustion of magic. This boy really is a lost case, but it's a disaster. That reminds me why I'm human. Ainz, by the way, Issei revived, but now he's immortal too. I pronounce you husband and wife. Please leave this for another day. I want to go sleep on my throne. Don't bother me. After hearing that, Albedo's desire to complain diminished. I know it's not a wedding anyone would want, but I honestly wanted to get them married before someone else got in the way and wanted to change their mind and become an obstacle. But anyway, my magic is almost exhausted and my bones feel so heavy that I even think I'll sleep for years to recover. I didn't think there was something that would cause me so much harm, but now I just want to think about recovering. I head towards the throne room when suddenly someone speaks to me. Rias. Excuse me, Ainz-sama, I need to ask you a very special favor. Could you talk to me? She began to shed tears as she fell to her knees. I have no one else to turn to. Please help me. She looked so pitiful, so lost, and add to that the fact that I'm bad at talking to girls, so the least I could do was invite her into a room which had a table and 2 chairs. I opened a portal from which I took tea and cookies, and we sat down while I waited for him to calm her down because I had no idea how to make her stop crying. I hope this ends quickly. I want to go to sleep. Chapter 8 Bonus: Phase 2. Rias. Thank you for letting me talk to you. What happens is that after seeing your battle and all that power, something in my brain was unleashed. My memories came back, and they are so dark, so horrible, that I'm afraid of the kind of monster I was. I'm afraid that I could come back. I'm afraid of being what I was. Ainz, calm down. The past is behind you, and if you don't feel that it was right, then you don't have to go down that path ever again. Go back to your friends and forget this nightmare. Rias. You're right, Ainz-sama, but before I activated a portal and my crimson sword came out in a quick movement, I placed it on the table until it reached the floor, and I said I'll make sure to take Issei with me. The whole room became as if it were a crimson crystal, and Ainz began to be tied with crimson chains, which prevented me from moving. And because of the crystal, no one would know that we are in this room since we would not make any noise. I'm so sorry, Ainz-sama, but now I will continue. With my plan and you are part of it, let me explain. Entering Nzarick and pretending amnesia was just a phase. I needed to know all of Nzarick and get information from everyone here. Plus I wanted to be close to my husband Issei, but that bitch kept messing with him every day. I wanted to kill her more and more. And now that I know she has a bastard son from Issei, I'm dying to turn that boy and his mother into ashes. I want to see them suffer. I started laughing while biting my lips with joy and fresh blood came out of me mouth. I had waited so long to tell my true feelings. I finally felt so satisfied, although it does not compare to the satisfaction I will have when I kill that slutty husband-stealing bitch. By the way, Ainz-sama, save your strength. I know perfectly well that after this battle you will exhaust all your magical resources. I know that you consider Issei your son, but he does not need anyone else but me, so all those who love him bother me, so I will erase all of you and get my Issei back. Ainz, you're declaring war on Nzarick. One of his eyes lit up in red flames. You're declaring war on Ainz Ooal Gown. I don't care what you think, but I will kill you here. I won't let you touch Issei or Albedo or my future family. As he said that, he moved with all the chains. In reality he was formidable. I couldn't feel much magic in him, but even so he moved. But I put more and more chains on him while my laughter began to come out. Rias, come on, I'm not declaring war on Ainz, I'm declaring it on Nzarick. Because you will help me destroy Nzarick, you, and I know it, you are Nazarick's best piece. If you disappear then I can win, then I'll take you with me. Now let's win this and I'll take you with me. He was about to say something like you will never be able to dominate me or something like that, but then an object that I removed only made him sweat when I put it on the table. Ainz, it can't be. The brainwashing world item, this can't be true. Where did you get it? You, no matter what you do I will never give in to a damn like you. Rias, come on, I'll make you destroy your empire and everything I want so I can have Issei. So goodbye Ainz Ooal Gown, this is the end. I activated the world item, and it was destroyed. For a moment I thought it hadn't worked, but when I noticed how his eyes turned purple, then I understood he was already mine. Everything worked out perfectly. It seems that love makes all my plans come out perfectly. Really, what happiness. Issei, the bandages they put on you I will break by force. Get rid of that bitch and your bastard son, and come back to me. I will wait for you with open arms, but I'm tired of waiting now. I'll go for you. Hey, can you teleport us near where Issei is? Ainz simply said yes and teleported us above them. I simply let myself fall down because Issei was there. I'm eager to see your eyes again, Issei. Supreme Dragon Emperor. Final. Only darkness, darkness and more darkness. After an immense glow. After all, it is the only thing I felt. My body destroy, my bones pulverized, and I felt that my body was becoming a sense that would spread throughout the world. But then a flame, I felt like a fire, began to cover my body. I felt it running through my veins, that it made my heart that had stopped begin to beat. I felt like a glow began between so much darkness, and I felt like someone was waiting for me in that light, someone who, when seeing her black hair, did not hesitate to run towards her. She stretched out her hand, and I knew she was waiting for me. And if my wife was waiting for me, I should not make her wait. My knowledge returns at the same time that I feel an enormous tiredness, and in that I notice it. My magic almost disappears from my body. The truth, I have so few reserves of magic that it surprises me that I can still be alive. My body feels horrible, my strengths want to fake, but when I open my eyes I can only see how my wife cries. Is Albedo crying? But why? In that I remember what happened, the battle of greatest proportions of all that I had in my entire life. The level of destruction and the level of magic that I used exceeds all the limits that I had set myself. In addition, that I was able to use overdown the maximum technique of Ainz, but it was all because he gave me his magic. Because I can't use that magic, it is practically impossible because it is unique magic. I could only use it because Ainz already had the spell ready and just casted it. But when I remember what happened, I can only feel the terror as I feel his presence. It was Nigredo and Rubedo. Although Albedo was crying and had won the battle, they caused me a lot of terror. I was afraid, and even so I was very cautious. I began to get up weakly, and Albedo tried to help me, but her tears continued and continued. All my friends were around, even the guardians, but they kept their distance. It seemed they wanted me to be alone with Albedo. Albedo, Issei, I'm glad you can move now. I'm sorry for what happened, but we are now husbands. Ainz married us before you woke up, so the wedding couldn't take place the way you wanted. Issei, really? Are we already married? Great. Without hesitating, I kissed her. Honestly, I was irritated that she kept crying, so I thought the best way would be kiss her to see if she stops crying, and it worked. Sometimes the simplest things are the ones that make Albedo happy, even though the killer aura of his sisters showed me that they still wanted to kill me, but I didn't care. No one could steal this moment from me, no one can change what I feel. This is my time, my moment, my story, it's all I am, all I'll ever be. Happy before I suffered and cried, but now I'm sure this is my happy ending. Out of nowhere I got down on my knees on the floor. I felt something family, and cold sweat came out of my pores. The sweat was starting to make me nervous, and everyone, when they seed it, came closer to me, but then that feeling got stronger and stronger until I said it. Issei, something is coming. A black crash literally dismantled what remained of the Colosseum. Everyone stood expectantly. What was happening? Everyone wondered, but something inside me knew it, and I felt afraid, not afraid of what could happen now, afraid of making a difficult decision and having to kill someone in front of my friends, because I knew it. While the dust dissipated and I began to see who it was. The Guardians without hesitation put in formation to protect me with Demiurge in front, but then that everyone saw left. US surprised even me. It was a black armor, it shined like obsidian, and from it a crimson hair moved with the passing of the air. Eyes with only a desire for blood, lifeless, simple, double crimson eyes so empty that you feel like you would fall into madness just by seeing them. Pale skin, white like a ghost, and a crimson sword. It seemed like it was begging for blood. It emanated a dark aura. While the dust I dissip, I could only see how she made a smile so crazy that I did not even think I had seen it in my worst nightmares. On an impulse, while I was inclined, I screamed with hate. Issei, what do you intend? Rias, I screamed in desperation. I was angry and sad at the same time. It was a feeling that was difficult to describe. Rias, the truth is, I'm surprised you forgot that once you're married you can't get married again. And you're married to me, not that bitch. So come, give me a kiss and let's forget this, she said while smiling. Issei, you're an idiot. You're crazy if you think I'll do what you want. First, you and I are not married. Second, you made a mistake by coming here. And third, go to hell, you stupid bitch. And in case I forgot, you were the one who left me, so don't come back like an idiot telling me that we were always together when I've already forgotten you. Rias, it can't be, she said while lowering her head, and tears came out of her eyes. Your brainwashing has reached such a point that you don't even recognize me, she said, drying her tears. Then she said it while smiling psychotically. I'll have to destroy all of Nzarick and remove the blindfolds from your eyes. I'm sure that will happen when your bastard son and that bucking succubus die. And she burst out laughing like a madwoman. Issei, Demiurge open. He without hesitation threw magic in her direction. It was a black ball of fire that came out of his hands. He considered that would be enough. The attack was fast. She did not seem to resist. He did not want to kill her, but she had not left me any other option, so I had to do it. But she just looked at us, snapped her fingers, and said, defend me. Then someone else fell from the sky. We thought it was someone unimportant, but then Ainz Absolute cancelled. Demiurge's magic was cancelled. Then we saw him descend. Purple flames came out of his eyes. Everyone was astonished when they saw him. We couldn't believe what had just happened. Ainz defended Rias, but nobody understands what's happening. Rias, now you understand. Your ruin comes because I stole your best piece. Now Ainz Ooal Gown serves only me. All of us, without understanding what was happening, could only watch, but I didn't understand what I saw nor what she was saying. I didn't want to understand it. But at that moment the purple flame disappeared and a red flame came out in it. The Aorc without hesitation. Ainz was aorcating her. He did not understand why, but he was to a certain extent calmer. But Rias, she was spitting blood from her mouth. Apparently he had broken her throat. She still smiled. She spit her blood on Ainz. He pressed her. He wanted to break her neck, but she, with a quick movement before that happened, with that crimson sword, she fitted it into the red gem that Ainz had, but the sword pierced it as if it were nothing. Then Ainz slowly released his neck. Ainz was in the floor. I saw how his red eyes turned purple again. Rias, how annoying. You wanted to rebel. That hurt, but I'm sorry to tell you, but you can't kill me, and it's because I have this sword. In fact, the damage you did to me disappeared in 5 seconds, and it's because of this sword. You noticed it, right? The power of this sword. But well, it's time to chain you up again, my faithful pet. Issei, you're crazy if you think I'll let you take him. Hybrid balance breaker. After saying that, I could only kneel on the floor and spit blood from my mouth. Apparently not even calling my armor generated a great burden on my body in addition to the lack of magic in my being. Then I was out of this battle, giving Rias a murderous look. I won't let you take him. Rias, too late. He's already mine, but don't worry, you'll see each other again in a while. She said that when I just imprisoned Ainz in crimson chains, I saw his red eye. He was looking at me and a tear came out of it before turning purple. Then I understood he was gone. My tears began to come out of my eyes and I hit the floor in helplessness. The Guardians waited for my orders, but I was in shock and couldn't think when I noticed that the Guardians were begging me to give them the order to kill her and imprison Ainz to find a way to return him to normal. I said it, but it was too late. They tried. Rias snapped her fingers again. Rias, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to let them bother us. If I have something to say now, I'll say it bluntly. I declare war on the great tomb of Nazarick. No matter what you do, they've already lost. I have everything to win. Since Ainz is on my side, I will destroy everything, and in the end you'll see that it's better to return to my side, my beloved husband Issei. But anyway, goodbye. Out of nowhere, she and Ainz teleported to an unknown place. While we were all not knowing what to do, I could only hit the floor in despair while trying to control the tears that wanted to leak from my eyes. Not now, this is not the time. I need to think of a solution. I don't know what to do. Issei, I'll go to my throne. We'll all have an emergency meeting in 30 minutes. Call everyone and take them to the throne room. Only Guardians and Pleads have access. Oh, and you too, I said, pointing to Nigredo and Rabito. After saying that, I just left. When I got up, I felt like Albedo wanted to hug me, find comfort in my arms, but now I couldn't get sentimental. If I was to hug her, I'm sure that I would burst into tears. In reality, I feel so sad that I think I could die, and a tremendous hatred wants to flood my heart. This hatred burns me so much that I thought I could have activated the Juggernaut drive without realizing it. But now that I think about it, this whole damn situation is my fault. As I sit on my throne and feel the minutes go by, the seconds, each time I blame myself over and over again. I had to be kind, I had to be gentle, I had to give him another chance. I had to be an idiot even though I knew it wasn't fair because it happened. I still didn't hesitate to help him because I'm an idiot, because I don't learn, because I'm still kind. Now look what happened. Ainz is with she. I should have assumed that she didn't change. It was all an act, and I fell flat. People never change. Even if I change, it always depends on people, whether they rot or move forward. The more I think about it, my eyes begin to lose their shine. I feel like my magic begins to recover, but at the same time I feel terror, and the guilt in my heart doesn't let me be calm. It was just a mistake, just a damn mistake, but that mistake, that weakness cost me everything. Now that I don't have Ainz, I feel lost because I don't know what to do to bring her back. Today that I took the banner with him, I felt like I could see what he sees. I know perfectly well how superior he is, not even in a frontal battle against me and the Guardians. I don't see victory no matter how many of us fight. If it's against Ainz, there is no range of victory. While I continue thinking, everyone begins to bow down before me except Demiurge, Albedo, and Nigredo, and Rabito, who very indifferently just turned to look at me. Demiurge, we're all here, only Pandora is missing, we can't find it. After hearing that, I used my Ainz Ooal Gown ring and teleported to the terrace at the top of the castle. The dusk was falling. I saw a beautiful sunset. While Pandora was looking towards the sunset in one of the castle's eaves, it seemed that he was admiring the sun. His cape was moving in the wind, and seeing it I thought of something horrible. And I prayed that it wouldn't come true. When he realized my presence, he just turned around, and the cap covered his eyes. Then I knew he was serious. Despite how he was, he didn't make a single exaggerated pose. Issei, Pandora, what are you doing here? We need you. The dimensional rift. Also, we need you to get Ainz healthy as soon as possible. I know this seems uncertain, but I need you, brother. I said it as I approached, then also his hand telling me to stop. Pandora, it seems you don't understand. Let me explain. I am the son of Ainz, although now he has been captured. My duty is to follow him, and that is because I admire him and love him so much that no matter what happens, I will never leave his side. So I will go to where he is. Issei, wait, do you know where it is? Tell me, we'll go get it back. I approached him with tears in my eyes. He didn't flinch, and he looked at me with that expressionless face, but I knew the expression I was making, one of incredible loneliness. Pandora, I understood the dimensional rift. In reality, I already found a way to open it whenever I want. Look, he said, showing me a blue quartz. This stone will allow it, but he said, throwing it to an edge. What happens if I destroy it? I cast a lightning element magic, and it was aimed at the quartz. If I took one more step, I would throw it. Here comes the interesting decision. What matters more, stopping a traitor or that your friends do not die? I wonder what will be more important to you in your current state. You will only be able to achieve one thing. You can barely equip your armor without problems, but to the hybrid armor. Maybe with it if you would achieve, but well, make your decision without hesitation. I put on my armor. The hybrid balance breaker was impossible in my state, but I grabbed the quartz before the lightning struck, and I only saw how fragments of light came out of a flash. Pandora was gone. A cry of despair while tears came out of my eyes could only be heard when the sun fell. At dusk in the darkness of the stars only my tears could be heard. Sitting on the castle throne, everyone was waiting to hear what I would say. Everyone wanted a solution, everyone wanted an answer, everyone wanted this to end. While I was trying to calm my feelings, Nigredo and Rabito broke the silence. Nigredo, we regret to inform you that we will not be part of this war. We promised to do anything if we lost, but going to die is out of bounds. Going to fight with Ainz now would be suicide. We have already realized their true level and we are aware that we will not be able to win. Rabito, besides the fact that we're not interested in helping you with the war, we have no interest in helping you, but a promise is a promise, I guess. In those moments I only felt darkness. I listened to what they were saying, but I was so immersed in my thoughts. But then a glow of darkness arrived. When I turned my eyes, they regained the glow. It was Albedo. She was taking my hand, showing me her unconditional support. She was willing to support me. Then a glow, a memory illuminated my mind. It was shortly after the battle with Demiurge, a memory of Ainz talking to me. Ainz, in a war, taking the advantage is the option. Obviously, dominating the best weapons of the rival and the morale in the war are the best options. When you are the one who is in front, winning each battle will give you better will to win. We are Issei kings. You have to understand the art of war. If an enemy attacks you, the worst enemy is ignorance and lack of data, but if it is someone you know, then you have nothing to fear. As long as you know their weaknesses and do not use yours, then you will win. Now, an important factor is psychological warfare. Finishing off the enemy, due to stress and fear, is the best way to dominate it without many casualties. That is why kings are ruthless. The more terror and more battles they win, they know that more power they will have, but the most important thing a king is his people. No matter what happens, if you believe in your people and keep going, then you have nothing to lose. Keep going. Raise your banner, go straight to victory and never give up. It's time for me to go. Take good care of my throne. Then I saw how Ainz walked away. Then my mind cleared, my eyes burning with life, while out of nowhere I get up. Everyone is surprised. I take the banner with the symbol of Ainz Ooal Gown, and I stand in front of them. Issei. I am Heir Issei, the king of Nazarick. Now listen, Ainz was taken by the enemy, but it seems the enemy's target is me, so we will concentrate on getting stronger. Until then, when the war starts, I will take care of saving Ainz and bringing him back with us. That control magic will not steal our supreme being. I swear on my title that Ainz Ooal Gown will return, even if he has to be defeated by me, because we are going to win this war. All, except Nigredo and Rabito. Glory to the king of Nazarick. Victory to Nazarick. Glory to the king of Nazarick. Victory awaits us on the other side of tomorrow. Glory to victory. Everyone. Some seemed doubtful, but when I finished speaking, flames came out in their eyes. They wanted to get Ainz back. No matter what happened, they wanted him back. They would give everything they had to have him back with us. Issei, Nigredo and Rabito, I will not give you the order to participate in this war. You have nothing to do with Nazarick. We will win this war, but I have to ask you what I want you to do. I want you to train me until I can defeat Ainz. Rabito, that's impossible. Not even with our skills could we take him down. We barely managed to put him out of combat for a few seconds. Issei, the power that you have is not comparable to what I will obtain after you train me. I will surpass the limits that you never could. And that is why I will win this war. The main objective is to recover Ainz Ooal Gown and bring him back home. While saying that, the doors of the throne opened with a bang and my friends were there. Kiba, if that's the case, we want to participate too. We also want to try to win Rias back. When I said that, my eyes showed nothing but hatred, and they started sweating at my reaction. Issei, what's the reasoning behind that? Do you know she just declared war on us? Killing her is the best way to avoid future problems. I let her live and look how she ended up. It was all a mistake and she's a lost cause. Besides, you won't participate in this battle. I have a stone that will return you all to Qua. There's no reason to fight. Asia. I understand the reasons and the motives, but we can't abandon her. I'm sure there must be a way. We won't give up on her. I know there's still hope. Akeno, we won't give up. We'll do everything to get her back with us, to make her the same as before. We won't lose faith. Kaneko, I know there has to be a way. Issei, even if there was, there's no way it would work. Understand one point: if she was able to get Ainz on her side, it means she's very strong, and in her current state they're nothing more than dust in the air. They're very weak and a burden to us. Accept the facts. Weak people like you can't save anyone. Vala, so you think we're weak, huh? Hasn't your ego gotten too high? Where did my rival who was longing to fight go? Issei, This is no longer a game. If I have useless pieces, there is no way I can win now. If you understand, it is time for you to return. Think that this was a dream and that you never knew me or Rias. Just forget everything and go, my friends. There is no need for you to lose your lives uselessly trying to save someone unsalvageable. Kiba, then we won't leave. Issei, I'm tired of this shit. If you don't want to understand, I'll send you back to the bad Demiurge. Demiurge. Understood. Damn humans, who do you think you are talking to? On your knees. In less than a second they were all on their knees on the floor. The bewilderment on their faces was noticeable. They did not understand what strange force made them obey. Asia, Issei-san, what are you doing? He said it as if he didn't recognize me. Issei, this way they will understand how weak and pathetic they are. Understand the enormous step that the weak cannot pass, no matter how hard they try. Demiurge. Demiurge. Music to my ears. Bow your heads. A movement so fast that it made the floor creak. Everyone was embedded in it while the smell of blood filled the throne room. Raise your heads. When they did that, tears wanted to come out of their eyes at the same time that their head was beginning to bleed. Bow your heads. And so it continued until they did it 10 times in total. Everyone is bleeding, and with a broken nose, tears came out in droves from their eyes and their dull eyes that seemed to have lost consciousness. Demiurge abandoned his magic and everyone fell to the floor without moving or resisting. They finally understood. They are evil humans. They have nothing to do here. You will die if you stay here. If you already understood, just disappear. While Demiurge closed his eyes and the silence continued, a small voice broke the silence. Asia, we just need to be strong, right? If we are strong, we can save her, right? She said it while she started to get up little by little. She could barely move. It seemed the pain was too strong, but she still saw a way to not fall when she got up. Okay, if that's it, then it's fine by me. I'll get stronger and I'll be able to stay here. Kiba, I will become stronger so I don't stray from my path. Akeno, we will become an invincible team. Kaneko, and we will achieve victory. Zenobia, from now on it's a one-way street. Irina, because we will never give up. Everyone, because we are Sword Dragon and our goal is not to give up on anyone. Everyone was standing even though they were staggering. The brightness in their eyes was their conviction, and they were ready to do whatever it took to save her. They believed they could do it. Demiurge, shut up humans. On your knees they began to give in, but to everyone's surprise, despite being hurt, they were still standing. But what the hell? Valley, you will never dominate me again. Balance breaker. Vanish in dragon. A blue trail shone and Vala put on his white emperor dragon armor, but it was strange. Everyone had a colored aura around them, and the determination in their eyes was latent. They were not willing to give up and leave without a fight. Issei, that is the correct answer. Perfect. Demiurge, leave them alone. I wanted to try something, and I think it's clear those who are devils and do not have the will to continue cannot win. Those who have the heart and the determination necessary to never give up and achieve victory are the ones who will always be at the top. I'm sure they can bring it back, but in their current state they are very devils. That's why I will give this decree. A guardian or pleads may take him as his apprentice, but he has to choose them. If they cannot be chosen by a guardian in less than a month, they will be thrown out of here by force. That's clear. I said it with a serious look, then I let out AI sighed and, making a sign of apology, said, I'm sorry I've come this far, but I want you to understand that the path you chose, there's no turning back. I'm counting on you. After that the meeting ended. I arrived to my room and rested. Albedo lay down next to me. We both didn't talk about anything and just rested. I don't want her to feel nervous or insecure. I will give her the security she needs. But then at night I felt something calling me, and I teleported outside. Then he was there using his demonic wings and flying while the moon illuminated him. It was a demiurge. He was flying while waiting for me. I went and met him. Demiurge, hey, about what we talked about before, I would like you to be 1000% sure. Do you think you can beat the supreme being Ainz-sama? Issei, I don't have to win, I just have to find a way to bring him back. In the current state and how the situation is developing, most likely, he can't kill me. Rias wants me alive. But even so I have to find a way to stop him, enough to bring him back to his senses. I will win if I bring him back to normal. Then we just have to make sure that Nazarick's tomb is the place where he can return, according to the current situation. Rias' psychosis needs me to love her, and for that I have to be alive. It doesn't matter if I'm hurt or even wounded, as long as I can fight I will never give in. Demiurge, even if you say that, the battle will happen throughout history since creation, fighting against Ainz, the supreme being. Due to what happened we will have to deal with Pandora and all the death ink that Ainz had. That is to say, we have lost more than 60% of Nazarick's attack forces. In addition to the experience, it is said that Ainz has fought millions of wars since the existence of the world. That is to say that in the strategic part, and in the experience part, we are losing in addition to the fact that Ainz knows all the geography of this place and of all Nzarick. That means that fighting here is disadvantageous for us because we do not take a new location and think of an attack instead of defending. Issei. If we move from Nzarick, we will lose the fact that he knows the geography will give him the confidence to strike the first blow, but the first blow is never decisive if we can finish off his forces before he enters Nzarick. Then it will become a battle of resistance where the side that is better positioned will win if we lose the advantage of terrain and our home at the same time by leaving it. The moral damage could be reflected. I need everyone to be at 100 to win this war. I promise to win and return to Ainz with us. Most likely they want to isolate me so that I fight alone against Ainz, but even so I will go knowing that Nazarick will be safe by the time I return. Valet, count on me. I'll defend this place until you return, so I can pay my debt to you and keep moving forward. Valet joined us out of nowhere. Honestly, I was so wrapped up in the conversation with Peerage that I never noticed he was approaching, and I thought it was weird that he wanted to access me like that out of nowhere. Also, I'll catch up with you soon with this. When he said that, I was surprised. On one of his left arms he had a sphere of my armor. It shone green. You use my powers, so I'll steal that trick from you too. Out of nowhere he put on his armor arm and forced him to swallow the gem just like I did, and his arm shone red. Now we're equal. I don't know how hard you trained to get the hybrid balance breaker, but now is my time to catch up with you, no matter how far away you are. Issei. But Valet, are you sure you want to help me? I'm very happy, but I'd like to know why you would go so far for me. Can I really count on you? Valet, you can count on me, and I want to help you because I finally admitted it, and I know the truth. You are the best dragon emperor since you disappeared. I felt like something was missing. The determination of not having the rival that took me to the limit was gone. There were no better reasons to become the best, but then you came back and that flame burned again. Even when we fought back then, you became monstrously strong, and even the last 2 battles I saw of yours, I saw you surpass your limits, get a new armor, and go through my most exciting expectations. You make this flame burn more and more. That's why I will give up the torch and show that the white dragon can reach the top 2. I want to be stronger to be able to thank you for having been my rival. He said it while smiling and showing me his red armored fist. I activated my white armored arm, and we bumped fists, as if this was a friendship that the world denied me. I saw how it blossomed. Issei. Then let's achieve this together. Let's win this war and live our lives without regrets. I start a new day, but too much time has passed. To be exactly half a year has passed in the blink of an eye, and all that time there was no trace of attack. It was just pure and hard training. In fact, yesterday Negrito and Rubito just stopped training me. I can't believe how much I had to do to maintain a fight with them. I'm actually surprised I'd become so resistant, although they still hate me and our relationship did not improve in any way. Every time they saw Albito's belly, the training became heavier and more devilish. There were times that even when I was sleeping they would attack me, but anyway, the hybrid balance breaker is a transformation that is too moldable, so much so that I was even able to make 2 variants of it. Hybrid balance breaker Berserker, it's the attack mode that discharges my armor. In this mode I lose almost all my defenses, but my attack is multiplied by 2. Hybrid balance breaker Defender, this variant focuses more on speed and defense, but when I'm in it I can't attack. I was talking to Dark recently, but to be honest, calling him Dark now that he's looked after me and supported me so much seemed rude to me. So I gave him another name, Shu Haidu. Apparently he disliked the name too much at first, although later he stopped caring. But oh well. Shu told me that the variants of the balance breaker hybrid are just pieces of a puzzle, that apparently the balance breaker hybrid still keeps an even bigger secret within itself. While we find the answers, I head towards the throne. It's been half a year since I stopped seeing my friends. According to the reports I have, many were taught by different masters at the same time. The truth is, I'm very impatient to know how they are, what has become of them. Impatience eats me up, and after arriving at the Colosseum I see it. An enormous amount of magical power is concentrating nearby, but this magic doesn't seem familiar to me. It's strange. I wonder whose magic this is. Upon arriving at the Colosseum I could only stay with my mouth open, seeing him, all my friends. But they looked very different both in body and in their presence. Kiba was shirtless while he had 2 swords on his sides, and you could see that his muscles were really big, his hair that covered one eye, and a beard. He really looked like a mountaineer who seemed not to know hygiene. That surprised me, but his magic was greatly increased in addition to his muscular strength, and his ability could be seen. With the naked eye he had become a warrior ready for war. While I turned my eyes I saw Zenobia, who was yelling at him, telling him to put on clothes. She had long hair while her body was a little stronger. Her breasts seemed to have gained size, but her arms, when looking at them closely I understood it, she transferred magic directly to her muscles to counteract her weak physical strength in addition to her sword being modified with magic seals. I still don't understand what they work for, but I want to find out. Kaneko, she thought she would look super muscular, but she looked more delicate and refined. In fact, she had a maid outfit, and her ears stood out with her enormous chest. I mean enormous silver hair. Wait, did I say chest? Did her breasts grow? Is that normal? When I saw her I noticed that her breasts apparently grew a size, but well, it would be better if I stopped thinking about it. The more I look, the more surprised I am. Now I look at Akeno, who is levitating. She is expelling electrical magic as naturally as if she were blessed by lightning. In fact, one of her eyes looks like it is an electrical storm. It is impressive. She has her priestess clothes all ripped, but she couldn't care less about her clothes. She is impatient for something in the distance. I can see Irina and Gasper, who are talking to each other. Irina's suit is a mess while Gasper looks at her with great surprise. I don't see any big changes in her. In fact, it seems that she has become much more lively than before. While talking to a Gasper who is wearing a butler's suit, he has his hair in a ponytail. In fact, it is strange to see him with girl's hair when he is wearing a man's suit. But well, I doubt that matters. Then I feel the presence of someone who comes flying. Then I see him descend from the sky. Someone with a white wing and a red wing. He descends with the brightness of the sun, as if it were something divine. While he descends I feel the enormous amount of magic he has. He apparently got too much power. He has long hair. His shirt is torn, while on the parts of his body that are exposed you can see multiple marks of scars, which are all over his body. When he sees me he smiles as if he were me challenging. He has become stronger. I'm eager to see how much. Everyone is summoned to the Colosseum, waiting patiently. Everyone kneels when they see me, and I tell them the following: it is time to see what will define the power of our forces. It will be decided if they are asked for war or not. I will give you an hour while I finish getting the preparations ready. My friends, I wish you good luck. This is the moment that will change everything in your life. Now prepare for this. It will be the challenge of the Colosseum. Everyone was taken to a room. While they were getting ready I went to see them. Since I hadn't seen them for a long time I walked through the door only to be left with my mouth open. All the girls were changing, and they were all in their underwear, so I unconsciously activated my magic and became imperceptible to their eyes. I panicked and started looking everywhere to see if someone didn't see me. Then I looked inside again, only to see how Kiba and Vala were stuck to the wall trying not to turn around to respect them. They were gentlemen instead. If I had had that opportunity before I would not have hesitated to turn around, but wait, now I could spy on them all I want. But I feel really bad doing it. I feel like I'm failing my wife. How weird, I really changed so much. Now I don't feel an intense lust or anything when I see their bodies, but it's strange, even though the door is open, they don't seem to have paid attention to it. Then out of nowhere, thinking there was no problem, I closed the door and made myself visible again. That was a big mistake. Issei. Hi guys, I came to see you. At that moment I couldn't speak anymore because a murderous aura filled the room. I didn't understand what was happening until they started talking. I just started to feel scared. Asia. Issei-san, what are you doing here and coming in out of nowhere? She said while seeing a lot of annoyance in her eyes. Akeno, you can't just come out of nowhere and see us. At least close your eyes. At that moment I thought before they never cared about that because I wasn't in a relationship, but now I'm married. Seeing women naked or half naked is an insult to my wife. Even it took me a while to understand it before I played the hero and thought I could always be a child, that they would wait for me and that one day I would make a decision, and I believed I was a man, but I was always a child playing at being a man. I never understood their feelings or mine, and the worst thing is that I never cared. Now I am a man and I must respect my wife. So I wanted to apologize when everyone said something. So close your eyes and stay on the wall, unfaithful, and they all attacked me. After 20 minutes of being on the wall, I was able to turn around along with the other boys. They didn't want to talk much about the subject, but I apologized to Kiba since I know that he and Zenobia are a couple. I also apologized to Bally in case in these 6 months I had started a relationship, but he said it wasn't true. But strangely he blushed. That seemed strange to me. But it doesn't matter. Asia, Issei-san, next time we would appreciate it if you knocked on the door. We are sorry for having attacked you, but we care too much for Albedo One-sama, and if she were to see us in a situation like this we would be very sad if we hurt her. Zenobia. Or just imagine that Vala was naked and Albedo was in the same room and you entered. What do you think would happen? Valley, don't involve me in your stupid ideas. It could cause a misunderstanding. Besides, you didn't use your boyfriend as an example because you would get jealous. Just imagining it, right? When she said that she turned red. Kiba, yeah, calm down. It was just an example, I hope, and you don't take it personally. Now to what concerns us. There is a reason why you came here, right? Issei. There is no reason as such. I just wanted to see them. It's been a long time, and I missed them a lot. That's all. I wanted to know how training went. Kiba. It was bucking hell. Kaneko. I think I spent more lives than all the cats on earth. Akeno. I can't sleep at night just thinking about it. Valley. The terror, the weakness, and the uselessness that I felt has no description. They kept talking, and the more depressing things they said, the more I felt identified. That's how I felt when I got here, so useless and meaningless, so weak, without enough strength to do anything, humiliated and degraded, being a sign of ridicule. Every day the training was hell, every day was horrible, but after each exhausting day and each hard day, Ainz would come to see me and talk to me until I fell asleep, like he was my father, having someone to talk to and who comforted me, to have someone who didn't hate me, to talk to someone who loved me and thought about me. That was what made me happy. Then I started to hear something that made me very happy. Kiba. But after each day, I remembered how much you suffered and my strength returned. Kaneko. When my arms hurt, and I don't want to go on, I think of you and it gives me courage. Akeno. It's always comforting to know that we can always count on you. Vala. I hate to admit it, but you are a role model now. I feel like I'm closer to achieving what you have achieved, and that gives me the strength to get up. Irina. When I don't see the path, I only remember how, even though you never knew yours, you never stopped moving forward. Gasper. When I met you, and now, that strength of your essence is what never lets me give up. Zenobia. My sword will always shine if I fight for you. Asia. Because you are my brother and my most precious person, I will always give the best of myself if that is how I can help you. So Issei, thank you for being born and letting us know you. Issei. Friends, tears came out of my eyes, but they would never be of sadness again, they would never be of pain again, they would only be of pure happiness. My friends, those I thought I lost, those I thought I hated, those I thought would never be with me again, are here, willing to give their lives, willing to die, and willing to be everything if they can help me. A friendship so strong that no power in the world could break these ties. We were far away, but it never broke, and it never broke because I never let go, and it was worth not letting go. If I can have them sigh, then I said, I'm glad I suffered, I'm glad I cried, I'm glad I was born. I'm glad I met them, and I'm glad that I never stopped believing in this friendship, that even though everything was uncertain, I would never let go of the ties that are in my heart, that despite the pain and resentment I could never think of hating them, that despite everything they are still my family. I love them. Please, after this battle, live so I can continue loving you like now, my best friends. Tears flood the room, but they are not of sadness, they are not of pain. No more, no more. The poor dragon that ran away suffering is no longer there. The one that ran away sadly is no longer there. Now he shines with the splendor of the sun. Now he shines with the friendship that he never lost. Now he shines because he is the Dragon King. Joy will follow him forever. An hour has passed. The gladiators enter the Colosseum, fierce warriors ready for a test that will decide if everything they suffered was in vain or not. They walk with a firm step. Security is noticeable in their eyes. Their feelings of pure confidence after having gone through hell is notable. The Colosseum shines as if it were gold in the night scene. Even if it is day in this place, the starry sky is always there. They walk, and the only thing that distinguishes it from all of us who are here is that they wear school uniforms. These represent them as foreigners in this place. They all wear the same uniform. Even the dragon that has nothing to do with the school carries it. It seems that someone has been chosen as their representative. She walks in front with an armband on her right side. This is black with white, and the distinctive is engraved of president, and the one who carries it is none other than Asia. She walks in front diligently. I don't see doubt in her eyes. If it were the Asia from before she would stumble, or feel the pressure of this place, and be behind someone's back, but now she walks in front, and somehow she gives security to the others so they can continue advancing, and everyone on the left side had a red bracelet which showed the pawn piece that represented them. Everyone stood in front of the box where she was. In the box were me, Albedo Demiurge, and all the other guardians, and pleads, all waiting to see what would happen now. Issei, warriors, you were chosen and tested to the limit, but Nazarick is a hierarchy that must be respected. Today you will be given the opportunity to test your strength. Those who do not have confidence in themselves, say it now, because if any of you fail there will be no turning back. I myself will take care of sending you back and erasing your memories. This is the challenge of the Colosseum. Observe. I said that while I made a machine appear that had an eye and surfaces around it. This machine is used to measure your skill in magic. Now watch a demonstration. Narbro Gamma, attack that thing with both magic and a physical attack at your maximum power. Narbro. As I ordered, she jumped as a huge storm cloud appeared, barely touched the ground. Chimera of the stormy lightning. A brightness was only seen by the flash that caused the lightning. The impact was sharp and left the machine expelling smoke, but it was not damaged to the point of stopping working. Narbro took her weapon and approached and said, full moon impact. Out of nowhere she just gave the order. She moved quickly again to her position. Out of nowhere a card was shot towards me. I just threw it, and it was as if a giant hologram shone in the Colosseum, and it looked as it said magic level grade S, physical level grade A, statistic of resistance to types of magic and other detailed data. This machine can detect status changes and increase in skills, and they are also qualified in addition to counting their special skills section. That was what the machine marked after having received the attack from Narbro. Everyone was impatient to see how much it would come out on their respective cards. It was time for my friends to start passing. It seems that everyone was wanting to go first, but the one who took the first step and just went straight ahead was Gasper. He didn't look like a girl anymore, and he no longer had mushroom-shaped hair with hair that made him look delicate. He had a lock of hair covering one of his eyes. To be more exact, it was his left eye, and his long hair had been tied back, giving the appearance of someone who practices martial arts. He just stood up. Gasper. Now release my magic, he said while the lock that covered his left eye rose. Now release the magic of the astral gate time. A magic seal engraved in his left eye which when activated vanished from his eye out of nowhere before our eyes. Gasper's body began to change and an increasingly greater magical power began to appear. I just saw him waiting patiently, but this magic, if he couldn't activate it at any time he wanted, it's only a disadvantage, and more so if it has a time limit. That means that in a risky situation he won't be able to do anything, but if it makes the time worth it, then I want to see that power. From a black flash comes out a boy of approximately 20 years old. He has long hair. His lock still covers his left eye, but his aura and the intensity it has are different. He just turned to look at me, and when he saw me he seemed to have decided something. That flame in his eyes, he looked so determined to do something. Gasper. Now see my enormous magic resonate. Terror impulse. He moved towards the machine at an enormous speed. Apparently he was an expert in close combat. On the machine a magic circle appeared. He hit the machine with his left arm and it broke, but when he did the machine began to vibrate as if it were a kind of jelly. Then in his right fist a black flame, which had purple lightning, approached the circle. When it collided with it, a lightning bolt came out from the other side of the machine. It was an impressive attack, but then a cloud of dust was created and Gasper returned to his original age, and his right arm was black. It had been charred. Then I understood what happened. A magical robot. When you use a magic of a level higher than what you can tolerate, you do not end up controlling that power, and it explodes against you. The greater the power that overflows, the closer you will be to death. It cost Gasper his right arm, but when the card arrived I threw it without hesitation, and I was surprised with the result. Magic level, grade B, physical strength B. The letters were lowercase because it was the lowest of grade B. When the machine appeared it counted the astral gate magic and the terror impulse magic as a joint chain magic, and when both failed it was obvious that the rating would fall too much. Gasper just stood up and bowed his head, tears coming out of his eyes as he approached where my friends were, who strangely did not go to help him. I wonder why. Everyone reacted but none helped him. Wait, don't tell me he asked them to. Seriously, he had changed too much. He accepted the pain and showed them that even if he suffered he would find a way to get back to them. Realizing that unconsciously I began to applaud. Noticing it my friends began to applaud too, and Gasper just cried, but upon hearing that a smile began to come out of his face. the recognition of being a warrior and the reason why he trained so much. He had not achieved it, but he was not far away. I can say that just by looking at it. Everyone received him with cheers and hugged him, while he said, "Gasper, guys, I'm sorry, I messed up. I wanted to not be a burden to you all, but I still became a nuisance. Kiba, you are not a hindrance at all. You are our friend and we love you no matter the results. Asia, the only thing that matters is that we are together, so no one can stop us. Calm down, you will become stronger. Bally, now leave the rest to us. We'll get to the top and don't feel like a hindrance, because you're our friend. Zenobia, it's my turn now. I'll score some points for the team." She arrived at the machine and said armor coating. Both arms were filled with a resistant armor. By doing that, her Durandal and her Excalibur, which were joined, shone and seemed to merge. Apparently she could fuse her weapons at the same time that she armed herself with a resistant armor. It was interesting, but strangely she was accumulating a lot of magic. I wonder why. Then my answer was answered when she said flash of twin swords. It seemed that he pulled a small trigger and a huge light came out of the sword. It even seemed that it left an opening in the back when the energy was released, and a huge roar filled the Colosseum. But in doing so, both Durandal and Excalibur were forced to separate. Both were expelling smoke and were black at the edges, but he still had the coating on his arms and part of his chest. Apparently the swords do not influence everything he can do. When the card came out, I threw it, and it said magical force grade of physical strength A. When I saw it, I couldn't help but get excited. It is true that the power of his attack takes a long time to charge. In addition to that, she is too exposed, because she still hasn't moved from her place, and the sweat on her face is visible. She gave it her all even if she ran out of energy, but she wanted to make feel well. Gasper, the only thing bigger than her breasts is her heart. She's incredible. Kiba arrived and lifted her up as if she were a princess. She seemed like she wanted to resist, but she no longer had the energy for that, so she just fell into Kiba's arms and let him carry her. Then Irina arrived to take her turn. She didn't draw her sword, which seemed strange to me. She just said, "Irina, light and darkness." She spread her wings and praying to the sky. Two portals opened, one above and the other below, and one of her wings was tinged in a golden tone, and one was tinged black. One of her eyes was white with blue, and the other was black with red. She moved while saying, "Dark light." An X-shaped cut collided with the machine when I saw the attack she used. The aura that came out of her wings and turned them into two swords in a single movement. While propelling herself, she attacked mercilessly. Magical power A. Physical strength A. A rating too good, only that when she removed her transformation she fainted. Apparently she has a lot of power, but her body cannot tolerate too much light or too much darkness. She still cannot find the balance, and the power of the forces causes it to overflow in her body. Bally picked up Irina and took her to rest. Meanwhile, my friend Kiba walked towards the machine and said, "Synergy of swords." His sword of demonic justice fused with my dragon emperor sword. This is different. The power of the weapon is too high, but it's strange. While I looked as if I didn't know what was happening, I was surprised to be able to fuse two weapons. I had always said that Kiba had too many swords, but merging his two most powerful swords to reach a new level only left me with a smile on my mouth. Kiba, synergy of swords, dragon justice. By fusing his sword of demonic justice and my dragon sword, a new power arises to destroy everything. Now I understand. He prepared himself and said, "Infernal dragon sword." The sword was dyed in magma and was launched at the machine, creating an enormous collision until it seemed that it pierced it, although the machine did not have many scratches. Magic rank A. Physical strength A. The shout of applause from his friends resounded as everyone was happy with the result. Even I didn't think they would become so strong, but someone was about to change that thought because what I saw was on another level. The next one was Asia. She took steps forward, determined and without hesitation, seeing those eyes shine with determination, as if something had changed in her. As if she was no longer the person I knew, she stood in front of the machine and in a prayer directly towards the sky, a sacred glow illuminated everything. She invoked the strength of the gods. It even seemed that she was holding a golden staff. That girl I met so long ago and considered my family was showing a side that I never thought she would have. She was Asia. Sacred area. The sky cleared and a sacred glow fell on the machine, making a radius of approximately 3 meters, covering a huge healing area. I was very attentive. Apparently this was not all. She said, "It's time, activate." The golden glow that I create began to gather towards her. Now armor goddess of victory, so the divine glow only fell in the form of a lightning bolt cancelling the healing, but she won a celestial armor. It shone like gold, a full armor. It seemed thin, but at the same time resistant. It's strange, why does she have armor? Besides, she was never a fighter. Her role was supposed to heal, but always staying behind, just seeing how they hurt those they love, how she has to wait until a misfortune happens to be useful, how to feel the helplessness of the battlefield, the sadness of seeing how useless you are, being just a walking first aid kit, feeling worthless. Asia knew you felt that way. And yet I believe that in time you would realize your potential. I'm glad you finally made it. She took out of her left pocket what appeared to be a cane and a rope that seemed strange to me, but when she transferred magic to it, it turned into a sword that was too small in width, but long. She approached the machine, and that weapon did something strange upon contact. It bent as if it were a spring. Asia! Divine thrust, as if a spring were the pressure sending the machine to the corner of the Colosseum. Everyone was interested in knowing what happened. They couldn't say for sure if it was skill, magic control, or natural talent. Everyone was confused by what just happened. Magic A+, physical strength A+. Everyone started to scream. Even the Guardians and the Pleads led a round of applause and congratulations, but they didn't want to show what they really felt. They were weird, they were happy, but they didn't want to show their favoritism due to their position, all hugging and laughing next to the happy Asia, that girl that I thought I would always have to take care of, that sister who was so special to me. Now with her actions she shouted at me, I am strong now, don't worry about me, and never forget that you will always be in me. That girl is something super special. I knew it since I met her, and now she is here in front of me with all her beautiful splendor. Apparently until now Asia is the strongest of all, but the one that has me the most intrigued to know what she achieved is missing. Valley enters the scene while standing near the machine. Valley, now you'll see. Issei, I'll reach you now, you'll see my power. Wait for the don't tell me, he means the when I was going to say it he got ahead of me. It resonates. Hybrid balance breaker. An enormous power arose, and Vala's armor on the left side was tinged red, while on that same side his wing changed to red. The crimson color was seen in Valley, but it was strange, he didn't feel something, which was what united us. So I brought Drake and Shu together in my head. Issei, one moment, explain what's going on. Drake, it's a super hard thing to explain, but he got a super unstable transformation, but we still don't understand how he did it. Shu, you never understand anything. His desire to reach us made him endure anything. Now he took our power on loan, but it is too much power, and he can't control it. Also, I want you to understand the hybrid balance breaker is a way in which we make a union of both dragons, achieving a perfect synchrony, but in his case he can't find the balance, and the powers he has are so unequal that he can't fit well with his body. In fact, that something so imperfect could be created is a mystery to us for now. Let's see what he can do. As if a video call were to end, they left me with more doubts than when I spoke to them, but oh well. Bali is ready to attack. He raised his left arm while gathering power. Wait, that pose is Dragon Devastation. But I don't remember teaching him that technique then. How does he know how to do it? But as he accumulated power in that arm, what he did was pass it on to his right arm. This glow almost like a rainbow. Maximum Dragon Devastation. An explosion roared through the arena like the roar of a dragon. He rose into the sky and raised his right arm. Now it shines, claw glow of the white dragon. He launched himself at the machine. Magic, as physical strength S. Now Gabriel and the Pleads were surprised. Vala is stronger than Gabriel, plus everyone's results. Seriously, they became very strong in just 6 months. I was very happy and just said, Issei. Our new warriors showed their worth. Then I named them a team that will help Nazarick in the war we are about to fight. Your team will be called Sword Dragon Revolution. This team will be a lower rank than the Pleads, but still that's too good, considering the results. Feel proud now, you are members of the Great Tomb of Nazarick. You earned your place and part of our respect. We are happy to have you on our side. When I stopped talking, everyone hugged each other in tears. Everyone had suffered and no one was willing to give up this feeling of victory that filled their hearts. He was happy, but the happiness of all his friends in his eyes, I had no idea of everything they came to feel, but I imagine it was not very different from what I felt. The planning for the last month was brutal, but it was decided to defend Nzarick on 4 different fronts. The northern front would be covered by the Guardians. The southern front would be covered by the Pleads, the eastern front would be covered by the Lizardmen, and the western front would be covered by Sword Dragon Revolution. After them we only began to plan what we would do from now on, prepare the ranks and supply them with healing objects, to the majority, in addition to deploying guards that would cover the perimeter of possible information retrievers. The days passed, until one day I woke up, but Albedo was not in bed. That seemed strange to me, when out of nowhere all my friends came running when I left my room, and they only said one word that made me so nervous that I felt like all the blood left my head. All, Issei, the baby is going to be born. Upon hearing that, I made me run at top speed to where Albedo was. Although I didn't know where she was, I was sure that if I ran all over Nazarick I would find her sooner or later. When I arrived at her room, all the guardians were standing expectantly, and the Pleads were the ones helping Albedo in her delivery. Everyone was just trying to stay calm and not faint from excitement or nerves. I just arrived and took her hand while I told her, "Albedo, I'm here now, everything will be okay." She heard that and gave me a beautiful smile, and while the labor continued in a few minutes that seemed like an eternity, they said, "It's a healthy boy." They brought him closer to Albedo with a blanket that covered his entire body, and Albedo only uncovered his face. Small and delicate black hair was on his head, and as he opened his eyes, those eyes that shone emerald, he began to cry. But when he felt how I took his hand and Albedo the other, he felt calm and went back to sleep peacefully. He could hardly believe it. "My son has just been born, my son. No one will take this happiness away from me," or so I thought, when suddenly a huge earthquake followed by a great rumble shook Nazarick. Everything around seemed as if it were crystal. A huge portal came out of all Nzarick surrounding it, and breaking the teleportation barrier. I expected that, but not that it would happen exactly now. The war had started and I barely noticed it. But I'm ready. This story will continue immediately. Supreme Emperor Dragon, Chapter 10, For a New Tomorrow. War, Day 1. This is crap. Damn it, just the most special day of my life is interrupted by this. I will pay, but anyway. I am Heir Issei, King of Nazarick, and now is the time for the biggest fight of my life. While we evaluate the situation, we realize everything. It seems that they tried an attack on all cardinal points. Various armies of Death Knights and Elite Death Knights head to each point strategically. They march towards their destination, and it doesn't seem like they stop leaving. But then, out of nowhere, as if it were a giant screen, something was transmitted. It was a giant island that was in the sky. The message came out of it. It was Ainz, but with Mamon's armor, the legendary Black Warrior. He took off his helmet. "Ainz, Heir Issei, come, I challenge you to a battle for supremacy. I will recover Nazarick, and you damn false king will fall here. I will recover everything you took from me. So come here one-on-one, I challenge you, come fight, Heir Issei." Apparently that is my sign. I had already thought that something like this could happen, but even so this surprised me too much. Apparently it is the scenario that we planned if it is happening as we thought. Now it is only that the plan can be carried out as we planned, and for that we must win. Before leaving I just kiss my wife, and when she sees me leave she doesn't say anything to me. She is a warrior and knows what should never be said before a battle. I say goodbye to the guardians who were the ones who always took care of me. I say goodbye to the Pleads that thanks to them I became strong, and I say goodbye to my friends that thanks to them I have a heart. And while I leave Nazarick heading to the island with my crimson wings, I see the panorama. The war has already started. This place will be a mess when I get back. While flying, what I thought was reality, as we had thought no one would stop me or try to attack me until I reached Ainz. But one thing was certain, this did not follow some master or too strategic plan. That means that these idiots came without a plan. But that is why they have faith that with Ainz on their side they will win. But I will take care of changing that once and for all. Do not underestimate the Dragon King. I go up, and upon arrival it seemed like a golden island shining in a unique space. Upon entering it, I was in a room which had dim lighting, but there it was, shining in the darkness as if it were his ally, while a red cape moved with the air and an adamantite rank plate that was visible. Mamon, seeing me, all he did was take off his helmet. "Ainz, this is the end of the bastard road. When this battle is over, open, recover everything you stole from me." "Issei, I didn't steal anything from you. You left me Nazarick to take care of him. I became strong because I believed in your words. But now I can say it with certainty. I will get you back, Ainz, and we will return to our home together. Ainz, if those are your last words for my own good, but don't regret it when you die," he said, putting on his helmet. A purple flame came out of one of the helmet's visors. He was going to give it his all in this battle, but he wasn't the only one who had changed and had given everything to get here. I was ready too. He drew both swords and prepared to charge at me. But seeing my new sword, he grew cautious and waited for me to attack him first. Issei, you were surprised by my new weapon, right? Let me introduce it to you. This is my new sword, the Transcendental Sword of the Dragon King. This was made by taking pieces of my armor. Now is the time for you to feel all its power. Ainz, pathetic, that's all you can do. Bastard, I'll kill you here. I believed you as a son and you betrayed me. I just want to see you dead. And he lunged at me, but what the hell is he talking about? Did the brainwashing put new memories in him, or what? Is that why he wants to fight out of pure hatred, now that he doesn't hold back when attacking me? Was our battle very well thought out? She really don't understand it. Does she want me alive or dead? But anyway, when the two swords clash, we both go out separated to both sides. Our strength is equal, at least at this moment. Sparks come out of our confrontations in his eyes. I only see how hatred moves his sword like his heart. He wants to deny its existence, but even so I won't let it affect me. This pain that I feel because Ainz hates me, I will ignore it until I can return home with him. As the battle continues, I see how Ainz demonstrates his mastery with the sword. Damn. Balance breaker. I put on my armor to even the game. But he's still very good. Damn, I'm starting to lose the rhythm. His attacks that seem to have surgical precision leave me without being able to advance. He doesn't let me attack or defend. I'm starting to be at a huge disadvantage. I just need a chance. If he gives it to me, I'll end this. Ainz, it's time to end this. Frost to modified pain. Wait for that weapon. I already have it now. As the time ice bust the floor along with enormous ice glaciers were heading towards me, I just touched my armor, making a seal which began to burn in flames. Issei, it's time to counterattack. Primordial fire. I fitted the sword to the floor and a huge ball of fire collided with Ainz's ice, generating a huge and dense cloud of steam that would not work with Ainz. But the truth is, it does not matter that he can see me because he will not be able to reach me. Hybrid balance breaker berserker mode. I shot out like a crimson flash, and in a second Ainz could barely react when I attacked him. Chaotic desolation. I cut him and pierced him while I turned around to the other side. I saw that he released his swords while all his armor, as if it were paper, was destroyed. Even the helmet, everything fell to pieces. He was turning his back on me, but when he turned around, he looked so imposing. He was wearing the same robe as always. But while his right eye burned purple, he looked at me with intense hatred. Ainz, it seems that you have become stronger, but I am not a warrior. I am a magic caster. I will defeat you with my enormous magic. You will know why they know me as the Sorcerer King. Come to me and die. Hide. Issei. The most important and difficult battle of my life was about to begin. The Dragon King versus the Sorcerer King. Who will take the victory? War Day 1. Nazarick. Asian perspective. We were ready to move west. It was the designated place to defend during the war. Everyone is a little nervous, but now I am the president and leader of the group. I am still scared and nervous, but I try to calm down and speak so that everyone can hear me. Asia, we'll be fine. We trained and became strong. We suffered a lot to get here. Our efforts will not abandon us, so don't doubt it, my dear companions. We are strong and we will prove it. Vala, you're right, don't doubt it. They're stronger. We're not going to lose here. Kiba, at first I couldn't even imagine myself standing here. But now I just want to prove that the faith they put in me was right. After saying that, everyone's spirits lifted. This is what I was supposed to do, and I was achieving it. But then, Demiurge, I'm sorry to tell you this way, but you will not fight this battle. Asia, but what do you mean by that? Vala, won't they leave us out of this? Kiba, what was the point of training so much? Everyone, what was the point of having gotten this far? Kosayudis, I'm sorry, I know you are warriors, but we can't allow you to die under any circumstances. Asia, what do you mean? Shelter, it's super easy to understand. We don't want them to die so that Issei-sama doesn't have to suffer the loss of one of his friends. Vala, are you implying that we are so weak that we are going to die? Mare, that's not true. It's just that we realized. Aura, the ties he has with you are very different from the ones he has with us. Despite having spent years with him, we were never able to make him show those feelings that he shows when he is with you. Seabass, so we decided that even if we don't want to accept it, they are irreplaceable to Issei-sama. We are disposable, so we will go fight. Asia, you guys are not disposable. By any means. Akeno, the feelings he has for you are not the same as ours, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have the same value. Kaneko, I'm sure they're in your heart, so please. Demiurge, I'm sorry, but you'll be staying here, and that's the end of the discussion. Unless you want to take us all on at once. As I bowed my head, tears sprang to my eyes, and as the guardians left the room, they all approached me. Kiba, it was exactly as you said. Vala, that was scary. Do you read the future? Asia, it was just a possibility that occurred to me, but I didn't expect to get it 99% right. Akeno, then according to what you told us. Kaneko, now what should we do? Asia, what I thought was based on this, there are many ways to go about it. But if we go for the worst possible option, then we have to prepare ourselves because the Guardians might lose. Kiba, will they lose? Is there such a crazy possibility? Valley, that sounds interesting. The thing is that Ainz knows the Guardians too well. He might even send monsters that have an advantage over them. Although they know how to fight against all their weaknesses, the fact that he has a lot of knowledge about them is what will give him the power to win. But that's where we come in. We are wild cards. You think that no one knows or has information about a ghost on the battlefield waiting to win the encounter. Asia, our time will come. When the current seems like it's going to swallow us up, we'll turn the tide and we'll be the ones who triumph. Now it's our turn to arrive and be the heroes of this war. We trained hard to get here. We almost died for this day. And now we will triumph as champions. Vala, I would never have joined you. But now that I know what you are, knowing what you are worth, now I understand why he was so special. Now I can proudly say, I am Vala from Sword Dragon Revolution and we are going to win. Kiba, this will be our biggest battle. Zenobia, I don't think I'll ever be able to forget what happened today. Irina, we have blessings from both hell and heaven, so we'll be fine. Akeno, now is the time for what we wait for. Kaneko, we're not going to lose. As we assess the situation, I'm just left in shock. It happened sooner than I could have imagined. The guards were standing there as certain people walked towards them. They had these weird swords, and they stabbed them, over and over again, over and over again. But what the hell? Why aren't they defending themselves? Why do they look happy? What's going on over there? Then I noticed, Albedo was standing in the doorway of the room. When I wanted to ask her what she was doing here, she quickly informed me of what was happening. Albedo, they are supreme beings, but they are not authentic. They are copies possibly made by Pandora, although I cannot be sure. I know there is no way they are authentic, but they miss them so much that their feelings blind their judgment. Please, while she shed tears from her eyes, save my family. Asia, we will, but first, Jamsuk. I gave a huge scream and Jamsuk appeared as if he were a faithful pet. He takes Albedo to the chamber that we separated for her. It is of vital importance that she be inside. Is that clear? Jamsuk only gave a military salute. While escorting Albedo away from the room, he seems very tender to me. So much so that I want to hug him every time I see him. But surely now that he saw me, he decided that it was not the best moment for that. In fact, I will make sure to thank him properly later. Asia, the situation is as follows. Perhaps blinded by their feelings, they are willing to do anything for their supreme being. But even though they are hurting them, they are still happy. So what we will do will be simple. We will defeat them and free them from their bonds. Then we will move to support the other fronts. The situation of saving the Guardians is a priority in order to have all our cards in this war. So we will save our mentors and change the course of this war in our favor. Now, the trump card will be, Bally, we need your hybrid balance breaker at full power to finish them all off. The rest of us will be in charge of containing everyone in one place so that Vala's attack finishes them off. The fight has to take place without suffering mortal wounds or broken bones. If the enemy is too much to face one-on-one fight between two according to the combinations we made. Now let's go. We left Nzarick quickly. The northern area was close and we jumped to land near there. But the battlefield was indescribable. The Guardians who taught us so much were impaled. They were still alive, but in their eyes I saw no desire to fight. I saw nothing but joy. That made me angry and something inside me burn that I didn't know. The fact of seeing what I respect trampled was a horrible feeling. We will break their bandages and recover them. We jumped and attacked them. Each one came out to a small distance, but a single blow was enough for them to reveal their true form. They were like Pandora, but they all looked deformed or were missing arms. They looked like zombies. The Guardians, seeing them, could not avoid their surprise and quickly began to remove the swords that impaled them, but they would not wait. Out of nowhere they launched a fierce counterattack, but were repelled dry by us. They were fast and strong. Each blow was given with precision, but none managed to hit us. After Aver evaluated their strength, the result was easy. We began to press forward. They did not seem to care that we attacked them. They seemed not to feel pain, but still we wanted to see them dead. We gathered them all in one place. They cast magic and moved in a way irregular. It was impossible to follow a pattern, but that was no impediment for us. Now we were smarter, stronger. The course of the battle was decided when we heard the following: Valley, I'm ready. Hybrid balance breaker. A cloud of dust was raised, and feeling its strength, the zombies trembled a little. Apparently they felt fear or nervousness before the power that Bally gave off. Then I'll end this fusion. Flame of the twin dragons, a red flame and a blue one spun in a hellas. Both seemed to want to join, but none joined. We all separated at maximum speed from there, only to see a shock wave and a huge crater where our enemies were. We had won. We were all very happy, but we did not know that this happiness would be temporary while we helped the Guardians to regroup, when a scolding towards us. Demiurge, you damn idiots, you weren't supposed to intervene. Why did you interfere in our battle? You have insulted everything we are and represent. Now we are the shame of Nzarick. Before he continued speaking, we interrupted him. Everyone, shut up. When he heard us, he moved his glasses in annoyance. But before he could speak, we interrupted him. Asia, this was all planned. We did a good job and no one got hurt. This is our victory. Kiba, this is why we were trained to be able to fight. Kaneko, we didn't mean to hurt his pride, it's just that we couldn't stay still. Akeno, seeing how you've hurt our allies without being able to move, I will not let that feeling be in my heart again. Gasper, we came to lend a hand in this war, and that's what we will do. Valley, we don't need your consent, nor your approval. This is easy. Understand that we are in this war or get out of the way. As Demiurge took off his glasses and looked at each of us, a smile appeared on his face. Demiurge, hey, they're just as stubborn as our king. They really are exceptional humans. Kosayutis, foolish idiots but with a warrior's heart. We underestimate their fiery passion. Shalter, I admit humans are at least good at talking. At that moment, Aura kicked her ass. Aura, come on, just say they did great. As the conversation became more and more cheerful, a premonition hit Demiurge, and he began to sweat coldly as he quickly told us. Demiurge, go to the top of the castle now. She is here and Albedo is going to face her right now. That stupid girl broke the avatar I put to follow her. This is wrong. She is outside and on her way to the top. She is there, the red-haired girl. This is wrong. If she faces her in that state, it is obvious that Albedo will die. Asia, are an attack on two fronts. Gasper, up, go to the west side to reinforce the weak point we have in formation. The war is being carried out in a brutal way. If we lose one side, we lost everything. We will secure the 4 cardinal points and advance to support Issei, San Akeno, Kaneko, Veli, Zenobia. Kiba, come with me to the top of the tower. We do not know how strong Rias is, but I am sure that Pandora will be with her at the top, so Vala will be in charge of containing him while we stop Rias. Demiurge, but how can you know that? It's strange, but I don't see you using magic or any ability to think that much. Asia, thinking about weaknesses and strengths, both the map of the positions and personnel count, is all I had to master in order to be better for my friends. I will use every drop of my brain to secure the place that Issei-san loves so much. I will protect this place until I return, and we will win this war. We separated and headed to the top of Nazarick Castle. And as we climbed and felt that presence from back then, more only a thirst for blood that would freeze your heart, that would make you back down, but we continued forward until we reached the top, only to see how Albedo was breathing heavily, while Rias had black armor, which left many parts of her body exposed. She was with a crimson scythe and had it pointed at Albedo, and there was also Pandora as she had her hat on. I couldn't see her eyes, but Vala without hesitation took it away from us so that we could take care of Rias. Rias, my dear friends, you got in my way for the last time, so this time I will kill you all. You are a hindrance to my happiness. Asia, I trusted you again only to end up like this. A part of me hates you, but the other part still respects you. There's no need for us to do this. There must be a way. Rias, I'll forcefully create the form. I don't care about you anymore. Now come. I took Albedo back so she would be safe, and everyone attacked only to be attacked by the scythe. Everyone fell to the ground in the blink of an eye. She approached me. I was shaking. I didn't know what to do. Rias, it seems you've understood. You'll die too, but I'll let you close your eyes. When you do, I'll give you a death without pain or suffering. I closed my eyes and felt his movements so predictable. I drew my weapon and said, Asia, divine counterattack, a blow that pierced her armor breastplate, cracking it, and throwing her against the edge of the platform where we were. Even when she stopped, she spat blood. She looked at me in surprise. She didn't know what was happening when I said, "Perfect, they followed my plan to perfection. Now it's time to end this battle." All the friends got up as if nothing. They took no damage. Rias, that's why I felt something strange. You damn things. You became stronger, but how long can you continue like this? Asia, the one needed to defeat you. Armor of the Goddess of Victory. Now celestial reinforcement cast this team magic on everyone, to increase their defenses. Kaneko, now I'm next. Full moon fever, a moon that broke, dropped pieces of starlight that increased our speed. Akeno, affinity overload. Our magical power expanded. It was easier to access magic for each attack. Zenobia, Kiba, let's use our joint magic. Kiba, okay. Both of them joined their swords as if it were an ex-paladin's blessing. Everyone increased their attack too much. But the problem is that each increase in ability would last a maximum of 5 minutes. But we will use it to the maximum. We all went with an enveloping attack towards me. Rias could barely react. She could not afford any carelessness because if she did we would have the advantage. Then I came up with a plan. I would be the bait after I hurt her recently. She wants to eliminate me. We will make a chain of attacks. While I think about it, I give finger signals so that they understand the order of attack. Will it be Akeno, Kaneko, Kiba, and Zenobia all in one sigh? And after that I threw myself to the front. Rias, your attack took me by surprise the first time, but now it's time to end this. Die, you useless bastard. She threw her scythe at a difficult angle to dodge, but, as if it were air, I crossed its movement. I was ready to fight. I was a warrior. Asia, the only useless one here is the one who doesn't admit that her love is over. Understand it. Issei doesn't love you anymore, and this victory will prove that what I say is true. Rebound style sacred angle. I threw my sword down while blocking her scythe, but when this happened, as if my weapon was stretched, it began to move by itself. It bounced off her blind angles, and before she realized it was going towards her neck. She reacted and took a huge leap back, doing exactly what I wanted when she was within Kaneko's attack range. Kaneko, negative impulse, zigzag impact. She intercepted Rias when she gave her immense leap backwards. Kaneko positioned herself, but she wanted to turn around to attack her. But when she turned around it was too late. She suffered the blow full. It pierced her, and at the same time it reversed itself, filling 2 blows full on her entire body. Bewildered by the attack, she left a range of 5 seconds, enough for Akeno to attack her from the sky. She called the most powerful rays in her arsenal. Akeno, now feel this for all the damage you have caused us. Spears of dark lightning. 5 spears shining in black flew out, colliding with Rias while causing enormous pain due to the discharges. Zenobia, it's time. Let's end this. Kiba, there is not a second to hesitate. Let's combine our attack into one and end it now. Cross swords cut. A huge cut was directed towards her. Everything was perfect. A combination of skill, physical strength, magical force, and skill all evolved to the maximum point in an attack with an unstoppable harmony. It's the end, or so I thought. Because of the perfect harmony, something broke the balance of such a beautiful melody in an inhuman movement. Rias took a spear and threw it, and put the scythe as a defense, which broke with part of her black armor, throwing her to the edge of the castle. When we saw that she got up, she had a huge X on her chest, at the same time that she was bleeding, but she had a huge smile and said, Rias, having made me get into this state surprises me, but it's time for me to get serious. She pulled out a huge red sword which out of nowhere made her wounds disappear. But what damn thing did I just see? Now it's time to attack. She moved the sword and like a whip it stretched out and headed towards us. Kaneko, leave it to me. She slammed her fists on the floor. Heavy steel wall. A wall was created in front, but when the sword attacked it, it pierced it and embedded itself in Kaneko's stomach. Due to the impact, she ended up on the edge of the castle. Wait, what the hell is going on? This doesn't make sense. What can we do? Calm down, there must be a solution. Think, don't stop while you're alive. You can think. Don't despair and find an answer. The only thing I can do is think while we fight and find an optimal situation. I won't let anyone die. Asia, Akeno, Kiba, Zenobia, keep her at bay. Don't attack her head on. Keep your distance as much as you can and avoid direct confrontations. Every piece of information we can get will give us victory, so watch her carefully. I'll get Kaneko back and we'll meet up with you soon. I headed quickly with Kaneko. It seemed she didn't lose an internal organ, but the damage was incredible. I focused on getting her back as soon as possible, and when I did I saw Kaneko. She seemed to be thinking about something, but she just smiled at me, and seeing her recovered we ran out into battle again. But it was impressive what I saw. They avoided her, and although they cut her because she allowed it, she did not seem to have major damage. Maybe if she gets a critical wound we can win. Also that sword, when Akeno attacks her with magic, it seems to act as a magnet for magic and the attacks do not hit it perfect. This limits my options, but I will use this. She needs a boost. I will end this battle here, I said, looking at Kaneko. She smiled at me and said, Kaneko, a fastball? Asia, the fastest ball you can throw. Although it bothers me when you call me a ball, I'm not fat. After saying that we laughed. Despite the battle, we still thought everything had a solution. Kaneko, now devastating impulse. She made me jump to her feet, which when put together with mine propelled me at maximum speed towards Rias. When I reached her, Asia, I'm sorry I couldn't save you. This is goodbye. Golden stab, heavenly blow. My attack pierced her heart completely, leaving a huge hole where her heart should have been. When that happened I quickly moved away from her, but she was still standing. I didn't feel her presence, so I thought it was all over, but out of nowhere I felt the worst chills of my life. Rias, come on. The heart, really? It's the best you could think of. I'm sorry to tell you that Issei has my heart, and our love is what gives me life. So I can't die. Good try, but it's not enough. Out of nowhere that hole was filled as if it were nothing. I was stupefied, and at that moment a thought came to me. How do we beat her? Magic doesn't affect her, physical attacks don't cause damage to her, and we can't defend ourselves from her attacks. There's no way to win. The more I thought about it, the more scared I felt, but then, when someone touched my shoulder, my doubts went away. Kiba, he's stronger than we imagined. Apparently it's time for Plan B, don't you think? Asia, Plan B? No, wait, let me think. There must be a way, I'm sure. Let me think, please. I can't let that happen. Zenobia, Asia is the best decision right now. I'm not sure how much longer we'll last. Akeno, she's holding back. If she decides to go all out, it's the end, and she's still here. Kaneko, we asked you to defend her. She is Issei's wife. We can't let anything bad happen to her. Asia, okay, I will do it. I grabbed Albedo and we got far away from there, and I activated my magic. Albedo, what are you doing? Asia, we all decided if there was an enemy that we couldn't defeat, we would give our lives to protect everything that Issei loves. That's why we have to resort to this plan now. I just activated my celestial creation magic. This will be in charge of defending us, but 3 minutes have to pass for it to become impenetrable, and if someone were to cross it they would never be able to escape, because in here the hardness of the barrier is twice as strong as outside. I will protect you even if it costs me my life. Even though I said that, I saw how my friends fought with Rias, how they were cut in front of my eyes. I had decided to take the sin of their deaths and of not being able to help them. But even so, even though they bleed, they are going to fight again to buy me time. While tears come out of my eyes, I scream, someone help them. They are my brothers. Please stop. Don't you understand that we wanted to help you? They were your friends. We loved you. Why do you have to hurt us? Why don't you understand that he doesn't love you anymore? Don't kill them. While I cry and the barrier continues to become resistant, there is little left, but what I see is indescribable. Everyone lying on the floor in their own pools of blood. She approaches and attacks the dome, but without success. But as the 3 minutes have not yet been up, she manages to damage me. Albedo, this is pathetic that humans protect me. It's pathetic. While I hear that, I turn around angrily, but when I look at Albedo, that disappears while she sheds tears of sadness. Seriously, I am so useless that you have to sacrifice your lives. Noble warriors of pure heart are willing to die for me, and I am here out of reach to do anything. When the Supreme Being was captured, everything was out of my reach and I could not help him, and now that Issei is fighting, he is out of my reach and I cannot help him, and now you fight to protect me. Although I am the leader of the Guardians now, I do not want anything to be out of my reach. I will save you and protect this place because I do not want to lose anything else. At that moment my barrier explodes inside. Then when I see Albedo again, my mouth is open. Black armor covers his body, while his golden eyes burn with determination. With certainty, he takes his axe with one hand while in the other he holds his helmet. While the wind of war moves his hair, the determination to never lose anything he loves again is in his eyes. His true power has been born. She moves towards Rias. I wanted to help her, but using that magic, she took off my armor and doesn't let me use magic for a limited time. so I'm out. The only thing I can do is gather my friends in one place, and then recover them with my magic. When she arrived, she collided her axe with Rias's sword, but instead of becoming intangible, it was normal. They collided, and when they did, Rias was thrown to another place. She looked perplexed. She didn't understand what happened. Albedo, don't you understand, bitch? Your weapon becomes intangible because it passes through this dimension, but my weapon can do it too, so your trick is over. Come on, bitch, I won't let you take my husband with you, bitch. Rias, I'll show you who the bitch is here. She launched herself towards Albedo. Everyone is badly damaged, even Kaneko and Akeno are unconscious. Kiba has a huge cut but is conscious, and Zenobia is conscious, but you can see how little by little she is losing her senses. What can I do? I don't have potions or anything, so without magic, am I still useless? I see a royal blue potion. When I saw it, I saw that it was a potion to recover magic. I took it, but my magic, due to what I did, took longer to recover. I barely reached enough to make a healing area. It is taking me a long time to recover. Kiba is the first to recover and gets up. Kiba, now it's my turn. Take care of the others. I'll be right back. Kiba's perspective. Perfect, I just recovered and I'm running to my death, I know, but even so, at least I want to be Albedo's shield. I'll give my life and I'll buy her time to finish Rias. My sword of justice is cracked, and the sword that Issei gave me is broken. I have a spare sword. It's time for you to see my new sword. I threw myself between them two and said, Kiba, ice coffin. A huge coffin is created in Rias when my sword is fitted into the ground. It is an ice sword which ThecrowficsYT himself gave me, and which I promised not to use until he approved of me. But now I ask not the time to think too much about it. After attacking, I was confronted by Albedo. She meant that I was a hindrance. I know that's what she meant to tell me, so I answered before she said it. Kiba, I know I'm a hindrance, but at least I'll be a shield for you. I'll give my body to protect you and give you time to finish this me. Before I could speak, a slap that made me spit blood hit me. I knelt on the floor. Albedo, it's rude to interrupt someone. Besides, I don't want you to defend me like that. You're not a shield. You're a sword, so let's show them your edge. At that moment she threw magic at me, but when I realized an armor that shone in the dark covered my body, I was very surprised. I recognize you as a knight, so you must wear armor. Now let's fight. So I was thinking, what is the right way to fight now? What is the right answer? I feel blocked, and the stress of seeing my swords clouds my mind. The dragon's sword is too cracked, and my sword of justice is damaged. The only sword available is the ice sword that ThecrowficsYT gave me, but there are no more. The more I run out of options, many voices remind me why I can't lose. Kaneko, you can do it. Don't give up. Full moon shine. I felt my power increase. Akeno, we'll leave everything to you. Lightning impulse. I felt how the power connected and expanded. Asia, there is still hope. Don't lose it. Sparkle of faith. I felt all my strength growing and making my heart burn. Zenobia, forward sword shout. All my strength began to grow as I prepared myself, and a moment of lucidity came to my head. Kiba, Zenobia, give me the fragment of Excalibur that you have. It's time to do something unique. She did not hesitate to throw it to me. But after that, all the girls were on the floor. They used all their resources to give me this power. But then I saw how Asia supported them on the edge so they could see the battle. Now is the time to do it. I begin to concentrate my magic. I was developing a magic synergy of swords that is thanks to the sword master ability. But now is time to take it to the limit. Normally fusing 2 weapons is my limit, but this time I will try it with 4. I do not know if I can resist it or if my swords will explode, but there is no time to hesitate. I fused my sword of demonic justice with my ice sword. From its function came the sword of justice Blizzard, now Crimson Dragon sword, and Excalibur fragment, from which came Dragon sword Excalius. The moment arrived. Double fusion of forbidden synergy swords arises. I felt like my heart was disappearing as my power faded. I felt like I would faint, but something was calling me. Something was calling me. In a second I saw it. Issei's back. At that moment a name emerged, and I cut it without more urge. Dragon sword of justice, King Excalius. My new sword shines. It has an X that represents it, but it is strange. Despite looking super heavy, it seems not to be. I am ready to fight. I don't know how long I lasted, but I hope long enough to win. Threw me into battle. When she saw me arrive, just smiles. She underestimates me, but then we clash swords, and to her surprise my sword bounces hers. Now my new sword can touch hers. She believed that no one could ever do it, but that face of surprise gives me great satisfaction. The rhythm of the battle is changing, she moves more erratically. She is not an expert in the sword, but then I notice something. Albedo is getting tired even though she pretends to be stronger. She is wearing down. The damage from childbirth is present, but now we move, but she is avoiding me. Kiba, what's wrong, bitch? Don't you understand that I want your attention? She's not the one who stole Issei from you. You lost him for being a bore. He doesn't love you anymore. After saying that, she rushed at me with an incredible thirst for blood, her eyes bloodshot as we fought. She began to move, and it seemed that the sword had a mind of its own, bounces in the air and changes its direction. As if it were a snake, but now is the time to make a bet. If this fails, it's the end, but she moves without a pattern, so if she hits me, it's the only moment in which she will be exposed. I pretend to be tired, and she moves her sword to my chest. She was about to attack me, then I counterattack. Flaming sword Excalius. An attack of flames coming out of the sword impacted the hers, which made her burst into flames and fly out to the edge of the castle. Out of nowhere her flames went out, and she, while her disgusting black skin turned white again, while she gave me a smile of a damn psychopath. Rias, you're very proud of your new toy, aren't you? If that's it, then I'll cut you in half along with it. Die. Crimson darkness. The sword bathed in darkness and launched itself at maximum speed towards me. Kiba, I'll be the one to split you in two. I won't let you hurt the one I care about again. Excalius shines. Let's go with our final blow. Dual cyber. A vertical sword slash against a diagonal one. Who will win? It's obvious that me. When the swords collide, it seems that reality breaks. The impact begins to break the castle. While golden and black lightning falls, the power she has is impressive, but I don't plan on giving up. Rias, come on, admit it, you're going to die. You can't beat me. Kiba, if it was a one-on-one fight, it would be obvious that I would lose, but this is not a one-on-one battle. You already lost. At that moment she looked up. An axe that shone like obsidian fell towards her, while black wings fell on the landscape. By focusing on me, she never noticed that Albedo was flying, charging energy to finish her off in a careless moment, and that moment is this. But to my surprise she just smiled. Rias, transfer sword. Out of nowhere the sword she had in her left arm passed to the right, making me spin. Why did my attack fail? Curse, now she has the sword free to attack Albedo. Curse, what can I do? They pass like bursts per second, while I turn and hear a scream that restores my faith. Issei, don't give up. He was there. But it's impossible. He was supposed to be with Ainz. In that second that I see him, he vanishes. And I understand. That's his heart telling me that I can win. I will fight. He materialized the sheath in a desperate moment and sheathed my sword while I spin and take a step forward. Kiba, you will never overcome our bonds. Legendary unsheathed style dual sabers flare. She was surprised. 2 attacks. She doesn't know which one to block, but then she does something I never imagined. Rias, who don't understand that resisting is useless. Sword union. She melted into her sword. Both arms became swords and she had crimson armor. Get lost in the darkness. Eclipse swords. The end of everything. Both swords collided with our attacks, and out of nowhere a dome of darkness absorbed us. Out of nowhere I felt like hands were touching me. They petrified me and my strength was going away. What horrible darkness is consuming me? The more it consumes me, the more strength I lose. Seriously, we can't win? Albedo, I didn't come here to die. My husband is waiting for me, so no matter this darkness, my heart won't give in. I'll break this darkness and return to those I love. So step aside. A golden glow among so much darkness. Then I heard something creak. Kiba, you're right. This is my moment to help you. I'll come back and receive you when we win this war. Thanks to Albedo's brightness I reacted and was able to fight the darkness. And that crunching continued until both swords on his arms broke. Rias, but it's impossible. Both attacks hit her even though they had almost no power, and she flew out, breaking the cocoon with our light. I could barely stand. Using this sword almost killed me. I have nothing left to give. If we don't win with this, I won't be able to fight anymore. Rias, damn, my power is gone, but I still have to complete her plan. I can't die. I'm leaving, but first, chain of destruction. She activated her destruction magic and launched a huge mass attack towards us, and was running away. Albedo was exhausted, and she was turning pale. Apparently fighting after giving birth is too much for her. This is her limit. The attack is coming. I have to do something. Asia, soul barrier. She stood in front and began to contain the attacks. But she was bleeding and hurting. She no longer had magic, but she still managed to do that and protect us. But she is being hurt too much. If this continues like this, she will die. No, I will not let this happen, Excalius. I beg you, let me wield you one more time, please, so I can help them. A tear fell on the sword, and this shine was as if it spoke to me. It told me, are you ready? Do not hesitate. Kiba. Asia, remove the barrier, leave it to me, it's still within my reach. I won't let you run away and hurt my family anymore. Dual sabers. A huge glow destroyed her attack and was going dangerously towards Rias. She teleported, but before that it left a huge mark on her back. I wish she would bleed to death, but oh well. She threw me to the floor on my knees and screamed, we won. After that I'm about to fall when everyone comes to hug me. My friends, everyone is happy for our huge victory. Asia, we made it barely, but we were able to keep her safe. Kaneko, don't do something like that again. Another bit, and I thought, Akeno, there's no need to think about that. It's best to find a way to regain your strength. Zenobia, so that sword gives him all his strength. He asked me where he got such a brutal weapon. Kiba, but let's concentrate. Does anyone have a way to cure us? We all turned to look at Albedo. Albedo, excuse me, it's the only item I had, plus I used almost all my magic. Now I'm left with nothing. Kiba, it must have made a shape. Then Excalius split into all the swords, and after that I lost consciousness. Asian perspective. While we think about how to get Kiba back, I see something shiny in the distance. I get closer to see, although just moving makes me feel a huge pain. But everyone is focused on Kiba and doesn't pay attention to me. When I get closer, I see exactly 3 potions, 1 red, 2 light blue. I approach Albedo and show them to her. So without hesitation she tells me to take the red one, and give a blue one to Kiba. While she takes the other blue one, as I take it I feel how my body recovers and my magic begins to concentrate more easily. Kiba slowly regains consciousness and Albedo gets up. She intends to leave when I stop her. Asia, where are you going? Albedo, it's not obvious. I have to go help Issei. Asia, I know how you feel, but you can't go, you've only just recovered. And you're not sure how long that magic you just awakened will last, right? She tries to avoid me, so I reactivate my weapon and block her path. Albedo, do you dare to challenge me? Asia, I don't want to do it, but understand, if you go and your power fails, you'll be a burden. Besides, in this war there are still battles being fought, and they all have to be won. There's no option but to win. I consider you to think the best for Issei-san. I'm sure he'll win this battle, so just wait for him. Albedo, I don't think a girl would lecture me. She laughed. It seems that Issei raised you very well, you look so much like him. Asia, thanks, then I'm counting on you. Sword Dragon Revolution. It's time to decide our plan of action. Akeno, Kiba and I will go to support Bali, who is fighting Kaneko and Zenobia. I need you to support Gasper and Irina on the west side. Also, most likely we won't have communication between any of the fronts. So your mission will be to find a safe way to obtain information from all fronts. I think I'm asking too much. Do you think you can? Before he will finish speaking, Kaneko and Zenobia, leave it to us, and they ran up the stairs to go support the western front. We all pooled some of our magic, and thanks to Akeno we created a storm that could take us to where Bali was. We hope we can be of help even if we're weak. Please hold on. Vala. War Day 1. Vala. Almost on the outskirts of an abandoned lot, I throw Pandora, who falls dramatically to the ground, as if he were a superhero. He landed nearby, and when I saw us I understood. He is very strong. His expressionless face, his thin and delicate silhouette, everything hides a tremendous power that was never released. That is why he is called Pandora. Pandora, you brought me away so your friends won't see your death honorable for a piece of trash, he said, pointing at me. But you will lose, he said, making a thumbs down sign, because you won't be able to beat me, so prepare to meet your doom. He said this while waving his cape. Pandora actor, he said this while raising his hands. This guy is annoying. Vala, so that means we're going all out from the start, right? Then let me show you my power. Resonates hybrid balance breaker. I can barely maintain this transformation for 3 minutes. I'll finish this before he can attack. I throw myself at him. Flash of lightning from the white dragon, an attack that includes an electric charge while blinding the enemy. But it's strange he received it head on without trying to stop it. Pandora, this is a battle of endurance. I will launch an attack at you, and you too. Whoever is still standing at the end will be the winner. It is a duel of men. Bali, you're not even a man. But if that's your will, I'll show you that I'm superior, accepting your conditions and defeating you at the same time. Pandora, perfect, now take this great counterattack. He touched me with his fist, and I felt how the attack I launched at him came back towards me. plus another force as if it were a current, but what he doesn't know is that if it's my magic I can absorb it and use it again. So you can use your magic like that. Perfect, the next attack will be the last. Valid. You can bet on that fusion call of the twin dragons. My maximum attack was launched. Exploding Pandora fell while her cape caught fire, but she got up with that vitality and an expressionless face. She extinguished the flames and looked hurt. Even one of her arms seemed charred. Pandora, good hit. It seems that you are Issei's inferior for something. What he said made me angry, but before I could answer he interrupted me. But you are not weak at all, and because I respect him I will tell you a secret. I have the techniques of the 41 supreme beings. But there is a technique that I tried hard to copy, so look. He put his left arm and began to accumulate magic. Then I thought I saw a familiar pose. Now he suffers devastation of the supreme being. Issei's technique, I copied it and modified it. A huge explosion was heard while I fall with pieces of my broken armor. I'm almost out of combat. It's serious. Not even 3 minutes have passed and my armor is already shattered. At this point I have to end this. Vala, let's finish this. I'll attack you and you'll attack me. And whoever breaks the other's power is the winner. 0 Light of the Dragon Emperor. Pandora, perfect. The 41 stars are the ones that will judge you this time. Supreme Judgment. The collision of attacks was creating a huge pillar of light and colliding jets. I really wasn't imagining winning. Why am I acting like this? Why am I so desperate to end this that I'm not using my brain? What's happening to me? When I close my eyes and think, I only see them. Ever since I started training they took care of me all the time and supported me. In a way we became a family. I'm afraid of losing her. I'm afraid of them hurting her. Just thinking about them hurting Asia. Wait, why? Am I thinking about her? Damn it, I have to think about how to win. The balance is lost and I'm losing ground. My transformation is almost exhausted. Am I really going to lose? Then why, when I'm ready to die? I have an immense desire to stay alive. I don't want anyone to stop me live, but the balance is lost. My armor begins to break as the attack is closer to me. Please, I look at my left arm as I raise it and say, Valley, I need more power please so I can help them. Roars Dragon King. His left arm began to react. At one point he was in a white room, but what's happening? While I turn around to see what's happening I only see someone just like Issei, but this one is different. He has red eyes and a different look. Vala, who are you? Shoo. I am Heir Issei, only his dark side that took physical form. But now I am one of the good ones, and please do not ask more because I do not want to talk about it. It is not because we do not have time, but that I am lazy. It is definitely Issei. When I see him I only remember something vague, that Issei told me that he was complete, or something like that. Wait, did he mean it literally? That is weird but great at the same time. Bally, so you're coming to help me win? Shoo, not exactly. What happens is that your hybrid balance breaker is unstable. And that is why Drake evolved and is not in the same class as your dragon, which is why they are no longer compatible as before. But now I want you to understand that I will only make your transformation reach 100% of its power, but I still don't think it will be enough to win, and also doing that will generate an enormous burden on you. You could die. Tell me, is this victory worth dying for? Bally, of course it's worth it. I don't mind dying if it means I can help him. I'll protect them. Shoo, I never thought I'd see you as a hero. It's strange, but I always thought you'd look great on our side. Bally, then let's do it. He still hasn't unleashed the technique Issei gave me. It's time. I thought I could win without this, but let's do it. I extended my fist towards him. He did it. Then we said together, Bally and Shoo, activate my ultimate BOSSD ability. I left the white room and was still fighting. Thanks to activating ultimate BOSSD, the balance was maintained by little, but then I felt that Issei was following. And by uniting the power of Shoo and mine, I feel that my hybrid balance breaker can go further. Now I am a hero, and this one needs a new power. So let's go, Shoo. Let's evolve the hybrid balance breaker. My armor shines gold as it changes and modifies. Finally, I will use 100%. Give me every drop. And then let's die like warriors. Hybrid balance breaker advanced mode arises. My armor at 100% emerged, and that's when I see how Issei is on my left side and Shoo from the right while shouting, let's go. Bally, suffer the greatest technique of the twin dragons. Fire paradigm of the emperor dragons. A huge flame of elemental fire rose on the battlefield. The balance is breaking and Pandora is beginning to lose. You will lose, and that is why you have not realized yet you are alone. Or tell me, is that behind me? You cannot see them. Issei and all the others from Nazarick and my comrades were behind me, supporting me. Their figures were behind me, although I knew there was no one. They were with me. I saw how Pandora turned around only to understand her same loneliness, but he felt that melancholy. Pandora, you're right, it's the end. I no longer belong anywhere, so, like a villain, I will disappear from this world. I left the good people to follow my father and betrayed them. There's no way they'll let me come back. As if nothing happened. He, as if giving up, stopped attacking and decided to receive the attack head-on. But then something inside me screamed at me to save him. He's like Issei's brother. I can't let him die. Bally advanced, evading the attack that I launched, combined with Pandora's weakened to half its strength and collided with Pandora, but in doing so my armor broke and I fell to the floor. Cursed, this was exhausting, but it's not time to rest. The same thing he told me while I tried to get up, but I'm too damaged. Then, as if she were an angel, I see how Asia falls from the sky. But what is she doing here? Her clothes are in tatters. That means she didn't have an easy battle, but she was alive, and with that, she was more than happy. Asia, Bally, I'll heal you right away. She began to heal me while tears fell from her eyes. I'm sorry I didn't come sooner. How did I promise? Otherwise you wouldn't be like this. Bally, I doubt that he was too strong. If he was, why weren't you here? Maybe he would have had more trouble fighting. I'm glad you're safe. Asia, Rias escaped, but we managed to leave her almost out of combat. We resorted to plan B, but it was stopped by Albedo. I thought it would be okay to die, but now I appreciate being alive so much. Bally, I understand you. That feeling, that you want to protect those you love, can't just be avoided, right? Hey, please, when you're done with me, help Pandora. Asia, you really changed, she said, giving me a smile. You became a hero. I'm so happy for you. Bally, thank you, and I am very happy to see you smile. After saying that, Asia blushed wildly, while I looked away, turning red too. What had I just said? The others just looked the other way, pretending not to have heard anything. How embarrassing. Swallow me, Earth. After recovering to a certain point, because if he cured me he would run out of magic, I decided to cure Pandora. He wanted to refuse, but he was so tired and sore that he couldn't do much about his situation. Pandora, why? Bally, it's obvious that you wanted that attack to kill you. Besides, you are Issei's friend. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't let you die, so join us now to welcome Issei when he returns. Pandora, I refuse. Do you think a villain can arrive like that and be welcomed? Bally, I think if you're the villain and you come back wanting to be a hero, that's great. Pandora, and there's nothing cooler than Pandora. I'm in, and so we join someone else to our ranks to control the war. Now we head to the real battle. While I see the screen where Issei fights, I can only say don't give up, Issei. War Day 1, Issei's perspective. Release an invincible, indestructible, and very powerful beast while he sees me, Ainz. While his left eye is covered in a purple flame, while his tunic moves, both warriors are ready to die, although the one who feels more dead than alive is me. A dark aura emanates from his body when he moves. Ainz, impulse of darkness and enormous power, is created out of nowhere, and is launched towards me without thinking. I had already prepared to change to defend Maud. I changed and felt the impact making me crash and crawl on the floor until the attack stopped. But Ainz does not know what rest is. Hellfire, a flame envelopes me in burning fire, but it is a distraction so that I would not see his next attack. Chaos storm, a typhoon loaded with lightning headed towards me and threw me flying while the discharges cracked my armor. I fell to the ground. He is very strong. He did not give me time to react. If I do not take him by surprise and leave him without being able to react, I will not win. In fact, I receive these attacks so that he thinks he has the control, and when you least expect it, this battle will be over, and I will be the winner. Come on, get up, you bastard. Issei, did you know that I was training with Albedo's sisters? Thanks to them I understood what it took to defeat you, and that is defeat you with overwhelming power before you can think. Activate my new ability code 02. I moved quickly towards him and entered berserker mode. He tried to attack me, but before that a flurry of blows hit him. Ainz was calm. He was going to attack me with astral disaster, but when he threw it I immediately switched to defend Maud and covered myself in it, switching back to berserker mode since I was close to him and attacking him with Claws of the Dragon King, a direct blow to his gem which left scratches on it. It was too hard. I would have trouble going through it, sure, but I was starting to hit him before I would have even been able to get close to him. Now I'm on the offensive. Can I do it? He stands still for a second. Wait, could it be that because of my attack Ainz' consciousness is returning? He's letting him attack him now. The Dragon King's double blaster, 2 rays came out of the jaws of my hands, combining and attacking his gem, which after receiving the attack a huge crack emerged. I was happy. I was close, getting closer, but then a huge chill ran through my body seeing the Supreme being ready to counterattack. Ainz, now you will see what a real ability is. activate Supreme Judgment, and out of nowhere my ability was disabled, but it is impossible. My 0-2 ability is supposed to prevent any other ability from being activated for a specific time limit, and that time is not even half over yet. It also reinforces me being able to switch between my modes without suffering a delay due to the activation time of each one. That is, it is a super advantageous ability. For me, Hybrid Balance Breaker, this was my trump card, and it was easily blocked, a skill capable of activating despite the skill block. Seriously, what kind of monsters are the supreme beings that there is no defense against them? Out of nowhere an immense terror runs through my body as I unconsciously change to my mode defend. Damn, the situation is starting to get out of my control. Honestly, this has already passed all the simulation I could do. I didn't expect there to be a skill that would break through to 0-2. Now I'm at a disadvantage while I try to think. Ainz moves super fast. Issei, I will block you, and when I counterattack, everything will be over. Heart of the Dragon King's shield. I can only activate this shield in my defender mode. This allows me to receive the attack and steal the power, and concentrate it in a counterattack. The only thing I have to do is resist the attack, then I can turn this around. Ainz, you call yourself the Dragon King, right? Then let me show you a fire that is even capable of consuming the sun. In his hand a flame that shone red and blue formed primal fire. A blow hit my stomach, going through it like it was paper while all my armor was destroyed. But what's happening? I feel like my life is escaping me. But I'm supposed to be immortal. What's happening? While Ainz removes his fist from my stomach while I vomit blood from my mouth, he explains it to me. My Supreme Judgment ability is also capable of suppressing unique abilities, that is to say both your busted gear and your DV evading would have no effect on me, and that means that your immortality was also annulled. You trusted yourself, and that is what you come on. You're a devil human again. It's time to say goodbye. Even though I hate you for what happened, I didn't dislike you. He let me fall to the floor while I bleed out. I can only watch as he turns around and starts walking. Out of nowhere I only see darkness. It was like falling into a dark sea as I sink. I feel how the brightness of my eyes weakens and how it is more and more difficult to breathe. I feel like I'm losing all my senses, but then I notice that two more entities are falling with me. Drake, Issei, it's time to rest. This battle is beyond our reach. He was stronger than we predicted. He didn't hold back a bit, and even after all there was no way to bring him back. I'm proud of you. You're not the same boy as before. You're the bearer I've liked to be with the most, and I would have liked to be with you for all eternity. It was an honor. Issei, rest. Issei, dragon. Shoo. I hate to admit it, I don't like losing, but there's nothing we can do. Our body is losing a lot of blood, and due to the impact by changing to defend mode aggressively and having used our magic, we were left with few reserves. Plus you're unconscious. We've lost too much blood, and this is the last moment we have to say goodbye. Don't feel bad, you did well. I'm very proud of you. You're a great warrior. It's time to rest. Issei. Shoo, shut up. They looked at me in surprise, then I screamed, shut up, idiots. I still haven't given up. There's no way I'll lose here. No matter what situation I'm in or who I face, I will find a way to win because I am the Dragon King. A shine was seen at the top. The symbol of the Dragon King called me. I pushed myself up trying to reach that light. They know why I don't give up, because there is always a light called hope, and I still don't give up, so I know that this will shine for me. When crossing that shine, we are in the White Room where we always meet Drake and Shoo. They are very surprised. They thought it was the end, but we were back and I had a plan. Issei, I get it now. Lend me your power. I understand how to take Hybrid Balance Breaker to a new level. We are all circuits. We have functioned independently of each other to reach it, but if we unite as a joint circuit, we will reach the level beyond everything. Let us unite and reach our true limits. Shoo, we will merge into one. Drake, we will achieve new power and rise to victory. Issei, if we unite with our hearts, nothing will stop us, so we will win. As the Supreme Being looks at the boy's corpse, he feels a feeling of sadness. Tears run into the empty spaces where his eyes would be. As he looks at the blood on his hand, he only thinks, really, there was no other way. He doesn't want to be there anymore. He doesn't know why he has those feelings, and he doesn't care. He did what he had to do, and he doesn't regret it. As he walks, his tunic moves and leaves behind him a warrior whom he had to kill for peace to return, but then he sees that he moves. Issei, don't think this is over. I start to get up, and as if it were fire, my wounds start to heal. Little by little I start to get up. He is stunned, unable to understand what is happening. Ainz, it's impossible. I used my ability on you. You should be dead. How is it possible that you're even alive? I don't understand. Issei, It's obvious that you don't understand. It's the first thing you taught me, to never give up or accept defeat. That's why I can get up now, because I have all of Nazarick's friends on my back. And that makes me invincible, I said, smiling. While blood falls from my left eye, I am invincible because I have them. Every time I feel like life abandons me, I feel like they are with me. As long as they do not abandon me, I cannot lose. Why am I the Dragon King, the Lord of Nazarick, Heir to Issei, but more importantly the #1 disciple of Ainz Ooal Gown? While I shouted that, my heart burned. It was the moment of the power emanating from a golden dragon. With one red wing and another white with blue, it roared, "Now flap your wings, Dragon King." A dragon crossed the skies. Its golden color made everything shine in the darkness, and when it spread its wings, new hopes arose in me heart. Ainz, do you think that a damn underdeveloped lizard can with the supreme being send it to finish it off? The dragon began to descend, and Ainz was on guard, but he was not its target. Wait, he is not coming to attack me, he is heading towards you. The dragon impacted me, making its essence cover my being. In my left arm, the sphere with my potential, I just took it and squeezed it until it broke. When I did, a new armor emerged. It was a shiny red armor, but with the right arm in white with blue. It had 4 wings that covered my back, 2 red ones on top and 2 blue ones on the bottom. In my hands I had 2 dragon jaws. Finally I felt it, like my power reached its limits. Issei, hybrid balance breaker, perfect mount, my maximum armor made with perfect harmony, reflecting my talent, my effort and my being. Now I can't lose. Ainz, you think that makes a difference? Now I'll make sure to kill you. Primal fire, I'll blow your head off. Issei, Dragon King's fire impulse. A fiery impact collided with Ainz's fist. The impact shattered time like glass. We were both thrown back. My arm cracked, and Ainz, his robes that he always wears, were ripped in half while his bones were fissured. Ainz, damn, what the hell do you think I am to insult me like that? You tore my clothes. I'll show you your place, bastard. When he said that, he took off his robe. It's time to die, brat. Issei, will the Supreme Being finally get serious? You're too old for this, so let's just leave it at that. Before I could continue speaking, he approached me with his hand covered in a black scent. Ainz, touch of death. I was able to dodge it, but then he threw a reverse kick at me which cracked my armor. He was seriously incredibly strong physically. I'm impressed. To think that a Supreme Being would occupy the fist. It was said that they would only use it when it was an opponent they would respect for being strong. That would be the only time they would use it. I tried to rebuild my armor. I moved, trying to avoid his blows, the precision and his movements. He was a master in the art of combat. If I don't move carefully, this fight will end. I feel like mush, but the distance favors me. Then I shorten the distance. Already being close, I attack him with claws of the Dragon King X cut, which makes him retreat. He is being cautious. My attack was towards his gem. It has too many cracks. He has noticed that and moves and defends himself, giving priority to the fact that he is without more damage, but then if he defends it, it is because it is important. Apparently there is a way to win. I will advance. The exchange of blows is brutal. 2 warriors at the peak of their power and knowledge fighting with their fists for supremacy. The one who, apart from attacking, can defend himself and activate magic at the same time is the one who will rise with the victory. But it's my turn. He threw me to attack. Take this. Fury of the elemental god disappeared as if it were a shadow and came out of the floor, hitting me in the chest. This broke my chest and half of my helmet. I vomited blood. It can't be even with the perfect mouth. There is nothing I can do against his attacks. There is no defense against the wrath of a Supreme Being. He advances, but when he wanted to use the touch of death, he saw me smile. He felt insecure, but still continued with his attack. Serious mistakes. Since we were fighting, he has been accumulating counterattack power. Issei, I've got you. You underestimated me. Now suffer. Neo Blaster Gunner. My dragon jaws opened, charging a huge ray which I directed at his gem at point-blank range, exploding the place with a huge bang. The impact was such that my arms broke. I was thrown, while I only had my red shirt and half of my helmet. My legs were almost intact. I tried to concentrate to rebuild the armor faster. When I see from the smoke how the Supreme Being falls to his knees, his gem is being destroyed and large pieces fall from it. His eyes, one is purple and the other red. He is beginning to regain his reason. I have to talk to him, but then someone I didn't think would appeared out of nowhere. It was Rias. While she was standing in a pool of blood with a mark on her left arm which she showed, and when it shone she said the following: Rias, come on pet, you haven't fulfilled your damn role yet. Out of nowhere Ainz teleported to where she was, but she looked different. She had one black eye with red and the other black with blue. But what's going on? Why are you looking at me like that? By the way, I still have this container. It's time for you to see me in my true form. Out of nowhere a black hand came out of Rias's mouth, as if it were a nightmare. A thing came out of her mouth, and stood up as if nothing while Rias was lying on the floor. It was an entity. It had whole clothes with white marks, white hair, and black eyes with blue and red. But what the hell just happened? A person just came out of Rias. But what does this mean? A trick? An hallucination? What's going on? Unknown. Let me introduce myself. They call me Artificial Creation 1. I am a project that was created by my master, but anyway, the point is I am a doppelganger. That is, I can take the form of anything, but I am different from the common ones. I can possess a vessel that makes it more elegant. Also, when he said that, I already had my fist in his face, but when I collided with it, he turned into smoke, and I could not harm him. I am like a ghost. I do not exist in this plane of existence. So you cannot harm me even if you want to. This is so funny. Issei. Why her? Why me? Why do I have to do this? Why are you acting now? Tell me. 1. Come on, don't feel so special. All this was out of revenge. My teacher felt insulted by you, so he decided to make you suffer. It's something more personal than something against you specifically, so don't think about it too much. And why her? It's obvious that you were interested in her. We wanted to make what you loved the most disappear, but we decided to make you suffer. You always say that humans are more sentimental, so this girl was what we used to hurt you. Everything was well planned, from the illusions we put in her mind so that she would notice that pair of boys. My teacher only used a weak illusion, and you and that girl fell very easily. Also, her jealousy and insecurities made her easy prey to be able to take her body. Issei. Who is your teacher? Why do you do all this? What do you gain from it? 1. Nothing that matters to you. Actually, I don't have to answer your questions. In fact, you haven't noticed yet, right? That since I called Ainz, his magic is fading at an impressive rate. What happens is that I needed him to do something for which I'll tell you a little story. Once there was a legendary armor. It was said that it was created from the beginning of the world to rule. It is said that an entity wanted to take over the world with that armor, and the 41 intervened and won the battle, but they could not destroy that armor. It is said that when the 41 disappeared from this world, the armor would re-emerge so that someone could rule the world, and this moment came now. The Ainz gem broke, and out of nowhere the magic seal reacted, shining red. Out of nowhere a giant armor began to get out of the floor, while the supreme being fell to the floor lifeless. I saw how his eyes disappeared as if they were turned off. The supreme being had died. Tears came out of my eyes. A tremendous hatred arose from me, but as if heaven itself gave me a gift. Before anger consumed me, the spirit of Ainz took my shoulder. When I turned around, I only saw him disappear into the air. But what am I doing, letting myself be consumed by my hatred? It's time to be a man and stop crying. I will win, and I will take victory home. Issei. I will stop you here, and when I return victorious, I will be able to honorably rest the supreme being who watched over me now to fight. 1. I just need to defend myself. Even if I do that alone, I know I'll win. And by the way, being inside her body, I never controlled anything she did. I just changed things in which she saw the world, but every decision was hers and only hers. That's the truth of her heart, and you can't change it. Issei. Take this Neo Blaster of the Dragon King heavy artillery. A huge ray was created by joining both arms. Both dragon jaws opened, creating a large dragon mouth. Despite the fact that I was charging my power, it did not move and waited for me patiently. Take it. The attack was launched with almost all of my magic in between. I wanted to destroy it before it got used to its body, but 1. Activate Infinite Shield. He moved his shield forward, and when it hit my attack, it only made it disappear as if it was nothing. I was surprised. I couldn't believe it. Now you understand. As long as he has the shield and the most powerful sword, you have no chance. Rain of swords. A violent rain of swords fell. They were black swords which fell in a huge range. I dodged them by moving too far away, but when I did, he appeared behind me and tried to slash me. But what the hell, despite being almost giant, he is super fast. Damn, I move, and while I fly I try to hit him, but his shield moves in every blind spot. Damn, I'm having a hard time and I can't think of anything. What can I do? He throws a slash at me, but I block it. This makes my chest crack, and when I fall to the ground while I try to think, someone calls me from behind. When I hear his voice, I can't help but turn around. Ainz. Come on, kid, you haven't even damaged him. It seems that the kids these days lack strength, so I'll give you mine. The supreme being without his robes was standing behind me with his usual attitude, his eyes burning red as he smiled at me. Issei. But if it's impossible, isn't it supposed to have ceased to exist? Then how? Ainz. It's obvious that I couldn't come back alone. For me to come back, someone had to die. When he points at me, the corpse I saw was Rias's lying while she was dead. I still didn't understand what had happened. She gave me her life, she gave me her whole being to me. By doing so, the catalyst within me activated my ability, Ultimate Reborn. This allows me to come back from the dead without any harm, he said, pointing to the red gem that was in his chest. But she is dying now. But I have this, he said, showing me a red potion. This could get you back and be ready to fight, or it could save her life. That what he did because it was what she understood of the world. But she me saved. I won't tell you to save her, but search your heart, son. And he gave me the position. Issei, come on, Ainz, I know you already know the answer. I looked at the potion for a second, and then I opened it, and quickly approached where Rias was, and gave her the potion. I poured it on her body, and she shone out of nowhere. She started breathing calmly, and her skin tone returned after being pale. It worked. Now she won't die. You thought I would let someone die. For your information, I am more than ready for this battle because I am the Dragon King, I said, standing next to her. Two auras, one black and one red, could be seen shining here as they left her body. One supreme being. How bad that he woke up now. That wasn't in the plans, but anyway, I'll put him out of combat and take him to my master. He will decide what to do. Anyway, it's time to end this. Admit it. Ainz can't do anything if the 41 aren't there. Ainz, they told you the story wrong, imbecile. The essence of the 41 was what made the entity sleep, and that is why we sealed it. But now I want you to understand this. I can defeat you, and now you will see why. Out of nowhere he opened a portal from which the snake staff came out between chains, and when he touched it, immediately changed to the Ainz Ooal Gown sword. It is time for you to understand our power. Space-time teleportation. The statues of the 40 supreme beings of Nzarick that were hidden in the palace were shown around us in the form of a circle, 10 making a circle around Ainz and another 30 making another circle around. It is time for you to see our maximum ability. Lost style supreme cut. This attack is only possible with the Ainz Ooal Gown sword, and joining the essence of all with her is your end. But when Ainz concentrated, the statues shone like spotlights. Then they all went out, and one shone, then another. If what he thought was happening, then we were in trouble. When all the statues shine, he will be able to attack. Even before he does, he is defenseless. Damn it, I will move and defend him. I will call his attention and counterattack with brute force, but he sees through me. 1. Your victory card will be blocked right now, he said, raising his sword. This is the transcendental sword, a sword that has transcended in history. Due to its unmatched power, suffer my immeasurable power, eternal desolation, forbidden style. His sword generated rays of darkness, and an unparalleled power burned in it. I have no time to hesitate here. Issei, then I'll go all out. Superior wonder of the Dragon King. I went through the circles as fast as I could, and since I was close when he lowered his sword towards Ainz, I stood in front of him. I need to be a shield. I only saw her use this technique once, so I don't know if I can, but it's not time to doubt. Pandora, give me strength. Devastation 0. An impact exploded when we collided. The sword didn't hit Ainz, but Issei was shot out, breaking the floor, even the dimension, and was buried in the floor with enormous force, creating a huge crater in Nazarick. His perfect mound was destroyed without much resistance. The power of the sword was too much for the premature awakening of his powers. He is unconscious at the bottom of the crater now. What will happen? Vala's perspective. I'm flying without stopping. I want to see Issei. The situation is as follows. We were able to contain the attacks from all points, and we closed the portals. No more enemies have appeared, but the Guardians are fatigued. The only group that can continue fighting are the Pleads. We are almost finished, and the Lizard Men reached their limit a long time ago. Luckily, we don't have any casualties. We all watched the battle until recently. When we saw what Issei did, we all ran away. Regardless of how hurt or fatigued we were running to his aid. We all wanted to see his condition, but the crater was impressive, the biggest I've ever seen in my life. I couldn't even see the bottom. We were all looking into it. Albedo wanted to go down it, but Asia wouldn't let her. Asia, I know how you feel, but understand that we are just getting in the way. He keeps fighting. He will get out of here before we can go for him. I believe in Issei. Albedo, you haven't seen that impact. It was so incredible that I could have even killed Ainz-sama. Don't stop me. I'll go for him. I arrived and grabbed his shoulder. Valley, I understand that feeling, but he's been in difficult situations before. I just have faith. And why do I have it? Almost at the end of the crater, I created a circle with magic that looked like crystal, like the one he uses in his superior wonder. I'll give you all the magic I have left. Don't lose. Kiba, we'll leave it to you. He also made a magic circle. Zenobia, you can do it. Issei. Akeno, you're the only one who can. Kaneko, go win. Kosayutis, he is waiting for you. Shalter, don't you dare die useless, Ainz-sama is counting on you. Aura and Mare, up Issei you can't lose. Seabass, it's a sad story. Demiurge, what would I give to fight by his side, so get up, undefeated, and go win. Albedo, our family won't be together if you don't win, fight and come home, darling. Magic circles were created as far as we could see from the crater. I had faith that it would rise out of nowhere. An earthquake shook the earth, and we felt it, then we heard it. A roar, that was what shook the earth. The roar of a dragon. Then out of nowhere crimson circles were created up to the top of where it fell. Then we all screamed. All. Here it comes. Issei flew out with his demon wings, but the more he passed through the magic circles, the more he recovered his armor quickly. He recovered it quickly. Issei's perspective. This power, this heat, friends, I take you all with me, and I am not going to lose. That impact left me unconscious, but when I felt his magic and his words, I understood I can't die here. He's waiting for me. I start to go up the upper wonder of the Dragon King, and then I notice it in my skills tab. Something shines gold. When I open it, I see it as it says clearly new ability. Then without hesitation I shout it when I finish going through the upper wonder of the Dragon King. Issei, activate legendary BOSST. My power increases beyond limits, and I go up to where Ainz were. With one he attacks Ainz with the sword again. 1. I will end this now. Eternal Desolation. Issei, Burning Defender. A shield created with flames which, when colliding with it, causes one to burst into flames. When I arrive, I see Ainz smile. Apparently he knew I would return. That's why he didn't try to defend himself. He trusted me. 1. But you should be dead. I don't know what the hell you are, but you will die now. Look at my true power. The sword began to shine in gold light and darkness. Another attack. But I no longer fear its power. Now I will launch myself with everything. Issei, maximum flare of the Dragon King. I launched myself at the sword again. The impact collided, but this time I was countering the sword. 1. But what the hell? If you couldn't handle this attack before, then why now? Issei, it's because now I won't give up on you. I felt it before how I cracked your sword, so if now I sit on the spot that is cracked, I will break your sword. 1. You cracking the sword? You must be crazy. He was about to start laughing when he heard a crunch. It wasn't my bones, it was the sword that was starting to break. But it's impossible. You, a human, broke this sword. Issei, yes, I am a human and also disciple of the legendary supreme being. Now is the time to go through. After saying that, the sword broke. It is only an old sword. When I broke it, I pierced the arm and broke it. A cry of pain, while now I only had one arm. I'm not done yet, I said, flying high while I concentrated my magic. Glorious outburst of the Dragon King, an attack Empada with enormous power. 1. Boundless shield. Come die, idiot. The impact was brutal. The shield didn't yield, but somehow it began to be bent by the immense power, and it started to crack. It can't be. I can't lose. I was supposed to be invincible, so why am I losing? Issei, you are not worthy of this power, so I will only break that false strength that you say you have. I shattered the shield and his other arm. Now he is defenseless. I get close to Ainz and I give him all my power. At least the remaining one without arms cannot attack, or at least that's what I thought. 1. It's time for you to see what happens when you break the sword and shield. A weapon of pure power is created. Now suffer, he said while loading an immense power in his mouth. Now die, Fury of Eden. An incredible beam of neutrons and magic mass is launched with an incredible power. Ainz's attack is not ready yet. I have to defend him until he attacks. Issei, Ainz, keep charging your power. I will be your shield. Burning Defender. A burning shield defends from the immense attack, but in doing so I had to sacrifice my armor. I am without armor just enduring this attack. Curse, there must be a way. The power is immeasurable, and it begins to crack my shield, but I am not going to give up. Ainz, thanks Issei. Now the edge of my sword will destroy everything in its path. Legendary style. Final, a huge cut went through my shield, and the attack that launched one, in addition to disintegrating it, instantly destroyed the dimension in which we were. Also, this immense power was unleashed once again. As I fall, I close my eyes. I'm tired, but when I open them, I can only see how black wings approach, flying towards me. It was Albedo, who quickly grabs me and kisses me while she sheds a tear. She was happy, but in that I see how all my friends strive to grab Rias. The supreme being falls gracefully from the sky as if it were an angel of death. When I look down, I see how everyone is waiting for us, while smiles and strong applause cheer us until we reach the ground. Then I scream, Issei, this war, we won it. Glory to Nazarick, and everyone gives a huge shout of victory. They were happy. A week has passed since the war, and the reconstructions have been done. Now the recognitions and war medals are given to the best warriors of Nzarick. This ceremony was the idea of Ainz and the Guardians. they decided to do it, and why after a week? It's obvious why I was unconscious until this morning due to using the hybrid balance breaker perfect mode twice in a row. It made me almost be on the verge of death, so I had to rest too much just to be able to regain consciousness. And regarding the others, it was also the same case. Albedo is attached to our son, whom we decided to call Dranzer Haidu, a very good name if you ask me, but she seriously did something crazy to go fight with Rias. She left the baby in Jamsuk's care and locked him up, where she was supposed to be away from everyone. I only remember today in the morning when she went to open the door, I only saw how Jamsuk cried of joy when he saw how the door opened, and when he saw my son sleeping warmly in Jamsuk's skin. Seriously, everything was a disaster, but it's all over now. While the awards ceremony is taking place in that same room, there's a Rias tied with chains while I look at her. Those dull eyes and wanting to die are there. Ainz told me that she wanted me to make the best decision for me, that she would respect me, but honestly, even though I know how the situation was, I can't think about forgiving her. While I hand out medals, I realize that the Dragon Sword team was the one that played the best role in this war. Everyone has received 2 medals, unlike the Guardians and the Pleads who only have 1. Now it's my turn to deliver the next one. Issei, this award is for the greatest strategist and tactical genius of this war. It's for Asia Argento. Everyone flooded with applause, and while she doubtfully approached to receive it, I was so happy that I shed a tear. She had grown so much. I honestly believed that Demiurge would win it, but according to everyone, she moved the army in a coordinated manner, reduced physical losses, moved the army efficiently, won her confrontations, and she is also the one who found a way to break the bond with the teleportation portals. A true genius. When I gave her her recognition medal, I put something else and hugged her, and being close to her ear, I whispered the following: it's your decision. You fought for her, and you earned it. Now what happens from now on will be your responsibility. When she opened her hand, she saw it. They were the keys to free Rias. She saw them, but that certainty in her eyes knew that she would do the right thing. It's been 6 hours, and while I look outside of Nazarick, I see how my friends throw the dimensional stone, and from it a portal opens. They said goodbye to me long before leaving, but I only see them leave for something special. Rias, without shine in her eyes, just looks at the portal without understanding why they do this. Why is she alive? What's the point of being alive? While she wonders about her existence, Asia takes her hand. She lets go of it violently while tears come out of her eyes. Rias, why don't you hate me? I did terrible things to you. Why do you accept me as if nothing happened? Why are you able to forgive my life? Why don't you let me die in peace? Asia, we don't want you to die. We know what happened, but even so, we believe in you. You saved me once, now I came to save you, so stop running away and live for me just like I lived for you back then. After saying that, Asia hugged her, and Rias burst into tears. She was hurt and broken, but what she said towards gave her the chance to one day glue her broken heart back together. Everyone starts walking towards the portal, then Rias looks where I am. Apparently she realized that I was looking at them. When she saw me, her eyes lost all shine, and I felt that the desire to die arose from her heart. But I am no longer the same. I don't hate her anymore. Then, in an act of kindness and forgiveness and change, I wave my hand in a farewell. I say goodbye to the first love I ever had, to the first pain I ever had, to the first family I ever had, and to the place where I grew up. It will all disappear when they leave. That's why I wave my hand. That's why I say goodbye. When she sees this, tears come out, and her eyes shine out of nowhere. She starts to feel happy. She was somehow complete. When everyone notices me, they still say goodbye to me. Then they start to go through the portal. At the end, before it closes, I see a form of me, the same one I was before I got here. I see how he said goodbye to me and disappeared into that doorway, never to return. While the wind moves my jacket, I just look at the sky and contemplate everything that has happened and everything that I am. I see how a huge generational leap will happen to me soon. I am excited. I want to see what's coming because I am Heir Issei, the Supreme Dragon Emperor.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.